Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of tonight's 9 p.m. Eastern presidential address. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is Thursday, July the 16th, 2026, and this right here, the thing that you're watching, it's called the TNAM Daily Show. Larger. There it is. The TNAM Daily Show here on the New American Media. What will the speech be about tonight? I thought Venezuela. Well, maybe Venezuela spilled the beans on China. We're getting drip, 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 drip. We've had years of drip, 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 drip. Can somebody edit this together? So I'm just going drip, 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 drip. Drip, 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 drip. And then and create a whole song off that? No, I'm not actually asking our TNAM meme team to create that. Unless you're super bored and you think it would be hilarious, in which case, have at it. I try to limit my requests from the TNAM meme team because you're so fantastic at what you do. I don't want to burn you out with all my silly little jokes. Drip, 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 drip. What's that? They've done that so many times with Alex Jones. It's like liberal, 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 liberal. I watch that. I'm like, to me, that feels like Alex Jones swiping left on dating profiles. Liberal, liberal, nope. Liberal, nope. Liberal, nope. Nose ring, nope. Purple hair, nope. But I digress. So we're going to see what people are saying about the speech tonight. Little bits and pieces, little nuggets of wisdom, little heads up. We're all chasing clues, aren't we? We're like Blue's Clues. I've never watched Blue's Clues. I guess I've seen a clip or two. Also, the Save America Act. What are we doing? What are we doing? The Tyler Robinson trial. What are we doing? We had Blake on yesterday, Blake Wally, on the TNAM PM show. That's fake Blake right there because AI refused to take Blake's actual picture. It kept saying, well, here's what Blake looks like instead of using the picture. There used to be a app called Blah Blah Fish. By the way, everybody hit the thumbs up button. Hit like, hit subscribe, share this show with a friend. But there was a app called Blah Blah Fish. It wasn't an app. It was just like a website, I guess, back in the day. We're talking like early internet. Blah Blah Fish was wild. So you would put in there, when in the course of human events, and you translate it from English to Portuguese, over to Russian, and then back to English, or English to Portuguese, and then back to, you do translations, and it would change. You know, the story of the Tower of Babel, everybody speaks their own language. You're not supposed to speak your own language. You're supposed to speak the language of the land that you're in. That was meant as a curse, which is why one of the 55,000 reasons you don't just open your borders, just like any woman knows, you don't just open your legs to anybody that wants to, I want to go in there. And, well, that's racist to have borders or bouncers or a wall at your vagine. Yeah, you don't just let anyone into your country. You're all supposed to be speaking the same language on the same page. If you're on a football team, you understand the playbook. You work with the coaches and the team, and you're on the same team, and you understand what the coaches are saying, and the coaches can understand what you're saying. Yeah, blah, blah, fish. Things get lost in translation sometimes. And there's a lot getting lost in translation. The state put out their case against Tyler Robinson, and it seems like half of America doesn't believe it. And half of America believes it. And if you don't believe it, you're stupid. And if you do believe it, you're stupid. Cool. So glad we've reached this phase of society. This is the phase where everything's stupid. Well, I mean, it kind of is, to be fair. Everything is kind of stupid. Everything's fake and gray, as they say. And that rhymes. Perhaps I may. It's not showing that we're up on YouTube. Is it showing for you? Buckle up. What is this? 911. We have an emergency. Am I crashing out? Am I having an early show crash out? I'm not seeing that we're live on Rumble. So let me close the app and try to open it again. Just making sure. But yeah, we're lost in translation on the Save America Act. Why can't we get this done? You know what the Democrats always say. Man, I got like this one stray lash that's in my frame of vision. I can't get rid of it. Yeah, we're lost in translation on the Save America Act. We're lost in translation on 2020. We're lost in translation on Tyler Robinson. We're lost in translation on the National Defense Authorization Act and whatever this Israeli merger thing is supposed to be. Was it defeated? Was it added in? Oh, great, we're going to get the Save America Act. Oh, but we've sold out our nation's sovereignty to another nation. Huh? Lots of things are lost in translation. We're going to do our best to talk about what people are talking about on the TV screens behind me. We're going to scroll through our Instagram feed for the New American Media. We're going to scroll through our X feed on the New American Media. We're at American_media_. Make sure you're following us. We do not get to every story that's pertinent every episode. What is pertinent is trying to figure out what's happening with this lash. I know you can't see it, so I just sort of feel like a lunatic. Speaking of being a lunatic, nobody wants to see that, right? Nobody wants to see that. I figured out I could do that in elementary school. I've done it a couple of times. But we're going to go through the news. Make sure you're following us. Thumbs up button, share the show with a friend. It just keeps saying on Rumble that the show is upcoming. No, we're not live. Doggone it. You know, I don't get why that didn't happen because I definitely added the channel. So I'll tell you what. How about we buckle up, buttercups, while I try to relaunch our stream on Rumble. We've had some glitches on Rumble. I'm not a fan. But we'll play the show intro. Hit the share show button and invite a few of your smart friends to join us so that we can tell some jokes, ask some questions, debunk some rumors, and have a good time here on the TNAM Daily Show. So, as I said, buckle up, buttercups. The TNAM Daily Show begins ahora.
Your guide to the truth, the new AmericanMedia.com.
Hey, isn't that great? We appear to be streaming live on Rumble now. Man, I should have used that commercial break to go ahead and find which stray eyelash needs to be plucked from my line of vision, my line of sight. You know, you ever read those things where a word is repeated multiple times in a sentence and your brain doesn't see that it says in a sentence, it just skips over it? Our field of vision can often block things out. But once I find a stray hair It's getting caught in my line of vision. I really do want to fix it. Programming note, show note for this evening. President Trump set to address the nation. Yeah, plus I have a cat. I used to have a lot of cats. I treated them fantastically. I'm down to one cat now, which means I have cat hair around, and occasionally a stray cat hair will attach to the line of sight. Anyway, programming note. This evening, when President Trump addresses the nation, I believe we just got, we did just get the invitation from Mike Barra to join the live stream tonight. That'll be 9 p.m. Eastern. Trying to find out if we're going to go live at maybe 8:30 to kind of set the table on what we hope to hear, what we hope to see, any breaking developments right up before the announcement. They say it's going to be huge. It's going to be a big deal. We shall see. And I believe when I join, I should be able to stream to my platforms. I think. Hopefully that'll work. That would be ideal, is if I jump on Mike's show, I can also stream to you through YouTube here. So I do want to get that kind of figure out the quirks. I can't remember if Mike is still on Restream or if he switched to StreamYard. I know Bob France started on Restream and then went to StreamYard. I've been on Mike's Toxically Masculine Tuesday show a couple of times and did a couple specials. We went live the night President Trump was shot in Butler. We went live on election night with Mike. I think Blake and I did some on-the-field reporting during Chicago, at least, when we were in the streets where the socialists masquerading as Democrats. They don't like Democrats. They like socialism. It's all about greed and envy and power and control and manipulation and domination and violence. We did a live hit from there. I believe I jumped on Mike and maybe it was Mike and Jen's show on Inauguration Day from DC. So yeah, planning on doing a show this evening with Mike Barra. Go follow him. And hopefully I can click and stream it to these channels. If I can't, would I have a secondary device that I could join his show from and then also stream from here? I'll have to check that out because I do want to cover this live for sure. Okay, what is this? This is some other good news. Check this out. Patriot Warrior Texas on our Rumble feed. Everybody follow the New American Media on Rumble, and everyone hit the thumbs up button. Share the show with a friend. He says on YouTube, he's seeing that the New American Media is on the featured column. We haven't been on the featured column in probably a decade. I don't recall when. I think when we interviewed John McAfee with the CIA getting nuked, the CIA just got nuked, was the quote from John McAfee with the Vault 7 WikiLeaks data dumps. I think that was the moment our show was officially obliterated on YouTube. We were demonetized around the COVID and 2020 election lies that social media and the Democrat Party and lying legacy media and social media, like tech overlords, decided if you didn't regurgitate their lies, you weren't allowed to exist or speak or monetize your content. It's been a bit of an uphill road for the New American Media, trying to get our foothold and make sure that we can earn enough revenue every month to pay the bills and stash a little bit away to, pay for Ben's dental visit that we are scheduling now. Ugh. On the heels of just paying off $1,500 as Nimbus departed this realm. I swear every month it's just something. You think you got your budget figured out. You're like, all right, this is what we need to get through this month. And you go, damn it. So like breaking even is not breaking even. You got to shoot the moon past by 50% to build the nest egg because they're coming for you. There's going to be car repairs. There's going to be health issues. There's going to be veterinarian bills. There's going to be, oh yeah, your city will go, oh yeah, you owe us $110 extra every month now because we said so. And if you don't pay that, we're going to confiscate your home. It's like, how do you buy a home if you don't own it? No, I guess you're just renting it from the state or the city so that they can keep raising the dues for the children, for schooling. Okay. But yeah, we haven't been on the YouTube featured videos in a very, very long time. So if that is the case, oh dear Lord, I'm excited for that. Could we possibly start getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views when we'd go live instead of 57, 148, 222, paltry sums. I mean, we got 6,500 subscribers, millions of views, and 22, 23, 24, 2,500 videos in the past 15 years. Yeah, we should be in the recommended column. Yes, we've been going live 5, 6, or 7 days a week for the past 2 years. Yes, we should be in the featured column, but the New American Media has not, because we've been facing massive censorship, massive civil liberty violating campaigns from the big tech overlords in the deep state. And so that's why I'll put this at the bottom of the screen for you right now. I encourage you, I invite you, I implore you, if you've never donated to the New American Media before, please consider it. We definitely appreciate it. I'm the bartender. I work off tips. When I clock out at the end of this shift, I'm going to slide you your tab for today's program. $0 free cents. But instead of doing ad reads for coffee or pillows or solar panels, I just tell you that we are trying to do this independently. If you like the program, if you like the interaction, if you like the jokes, the humor, the unique stories that we bring to the table, our unique transformative perspectives and commentary, if you like our guests, we haven't been bringing as many guests on the show as of late, but definitely check out Blake, the TNAM PM show. He was on Monday and Wednesday. And I don't know if he's joining us tonight with Mike, but I could assume it's a possibility since he's a regular on Toxically Masculine Tuesday on Tuesday nights over with Mike. But yes, that is the ask. Please know that we are on Patreon, Rumble, and YouTube. And I think for as little as $5 a month, you just enter your info, you set it and forget it. $5 is the low end. Or you could do 15, or you could do 100, or you could do 1,000 a month. We have different levels. Whatever you can do is super appreciated. All it takes is a couple of angel investors to really lock in what we're trying to grow, what we're trying to build, what we're trying to accomplish. We have big plans over here. We had a 10-year plan to become the world's largest media company. All right. It's been 15 years. We haven't reached that point yet. I did not foresee the censorship campaign that was out there. But you know what? Now there's Truth Social. Now Twitter is X. Now Rumble exists. Okay. I will do a show and deliver it by a fucking pigeon. I'll send up smoke signals like we're in Canada. We'll do the smoke signals with the blanket. I'm not going to stop because I don't like being lied to. I've got a really strong sense for the news. And yes, maybe sometimes I do lean a little conspiratorial, and other times I lean a little more traditional or conservative or reserved on how I feel about all the stories. But for the love of God, the original program was called the Agree to Disagree Show because we should be able to talk about every topic, every single topic. The wildfires in Canada, are they man-made? I don't know. Is Tyler Robinson the person that did it? I don't know. Is there too much foreign influence on the American government? Well, yes, but I don't know. To what degree? Is Trump failing Americans? I don't know. Is Trump succeeding on levels that are unprecedented? I don't know. I mean, kind of. I think he's the closest thing to a good president we've had in our lifetimes. But we're allowed to debate. We're allowed to talk. I want a little bit of pushback and banter. It's allowed here. That's what we've tried to build over the last decade and a half, and your support is crucial. So consider going on Patreon, Rumble, and YouTube and signing up to become a monthly subscriber. They take like their 20, 30%, 15%, whatever their exact fee is. But then it just transfers to the business account and it helps us pay the light bill to turn these TVs on so that we can tell you about what's happening. I opened up a drawer and I was like, oh, what's this? Oh, $3,200 I had to spend on this computer when I had to upgrade it. A year and a half ago, something like that. Maybe I would need a computer anyway, but not really because I need fast processing, high speed to get this show. It was lagging. It was glitching. It wasn't to the level I needed. I wanted the green screen. And it couldn't handle the green screen with the processor of the point being. You have to pay at the pump to fill the vehicle with gasoline or else it's not going anywhere. So while we've battled the YouTube tech overlord tyrants incessantly, I had 3 videos in the past 10 days that have been flagged erroneously for various reasons. Usually a copyright claim. And you're like, I have fair use. I can play a clip and I'm going to add a commentary. I'm going to do educational and commentary purposes. I'm allowed free use. No, I can't stream your whole album and make ad revenue sales off of that. I can't play your movie. I can't, obviously. But I can do what I'm still getting flagged for on YouTube. But the way to bypass it is to just become a subscriber directly on YouTube, Rumble, or Patreon. Please consider doing so. If you want to drop a one-time tip into our tip jar back there, you can throw some silver coins at us with a Rumble rant tip or a super chat tip. If you've never dropped anything in, maybe today is the day to glance at the collection plate and reach in and maybe get some lint out of your pocket. I have an extra button. I can donate a button. Oh, here's 10 cents off Shake and Bake. All right. I believe that's a Simpsons joke, or I think Homer is judged either by Lisa or Marge in that moment. He goes, maybe Marge. He goes, Marge, we've been blessed. We have to give back with a button and some lint and 10 cents off Shake and Bake. Anyway, also Venmo, Cash App, PayPal if you want to donate that way. Thank you to everybody who has. If you want a mug, shoot me $40 on Venmo with your address and I'll get this mailed out. 12 of that goes for shipping. So that's about a $28 fundraiser, and you get an awesome mug, The New American Media. It's black and white and red all over like the news, like a nun falling down the stairs, like a penguin in a blender. You know the deal. Come on. You know the thing. You know the thing. Hi to everybody in chat. What's up? Yeah, we got fires up in Canada. We have a nice Canadian contingent here on the show. Prayers for you up there. I'm a native Ohioan. And by the way, today would be a good day for King James, LeBron James, to announce he's returning to Cleveland to win another championship. Any day now, any moment now. But the people in Cleveland are like, what is going on? Why are we getting all this smoke from Canada across Ohio? And it is definitely happening. And it's happened for what? The past 3 seasons in a row? Let me show you this image that we just put out on Instagram. Yeah, so essentially that's what's going on right now. The Northeast U.S. is sitting shotgun while Canada's smoking it. They're hotboxing us. So yeah, you got your problems. You got your problems. I got my hash pipe. Bum, 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 bum. Name that band in chat. Yeah, you're hotboxing us, Canada. You're smoking us out in Northeast Ohio. But really, prayers to everybody getting smoked out up in Canada. And prayers to the people being flooded. Oh, geez. I'm losing track. I think I have the stories in the stack. Flooding. I've seen flooding. Oh, West Los Angeles. I think it's West Hollywood, West Los Angeles. Huge flood causing damage right now. Maybe that's a water main break. Maybe it's some sort of flood. I'm not entirely sure. I think we'll talk about it on the show. Down in San Antonio. Hey, man, we got Unholy Hoax down there, and he's dealing with water damage, flooding. Not to air your dampened laundry. Yeah, I mean, geez, yeah, that river walk. I wonder what that's like right now. We got fires in the north. We got flooding in the south and the west. It's like, good grief. Can't this planet ever figure out how to put the flood directly on top of the fire? Wouldn't that be a universe that a caring and loving God would put together? Where you go, I got you. Oh, we got raging wildfires. Don't worry, I'll send a flood. No, not like the Noah. We don't want to drown all the Nephilim children, all those monsters created when the fallen angels were banging the earth women, creating those hybrid monsters, and God's like, no. You know, I've had to do that myself. I've had a mole invasion across my property over the past 6 or so years. And those stomp traps, they work really well when you find the molehill, you find their trails, you set it, it snaps them, it usually takes them out. Occasionally, the trap gets them, but it doesn't finish them. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord, what do? You can't release this thing. It's caught, it's injured, it's done. It needs to be dispatched, but I don't want to torture it. I don't want to harm it any more than necessary. And I don't want this to be, you fill a bucket with water and you drop it in. You walk away for 5 minutes, you come back, and then it's done. You know? I tried ignoring these things, but geez, they were digging up so much. It was shifting the concrete pad with the HVAC unit out back, and it's just tearing up the yard. In general, I like to feed the wildlife. I don't want the deer here because I don't want the ticks, especially the Lone Star ticks. But yeah, that's what many say that flood was about. Angels weren't supposed to be banging the earth women, but the earth women were hot. So no, we're not asking for that kind of flood. We're not asking for a Hurricane Helene type flood, and we don't want a San Antonio currently flood. Just enough to put out the wildfires in Canada so they don't smoke us out. Is that too much to ask? Kenneth says, I knew a tall blonde that talked too much. I called her the Tower of Babylon. 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 I cannot sing in that register. I cannot get up there to do a Robert Plant. But I digress. Arnold. Brian, stop putting your dirty finger on your eyelid. Wash your hands and get a wet cloth to moisten the skin. And the lashes, they have tiny dust particles which land on the surfaces and start absorbing water. All right, duly noted. Maybe I will try to attend. Yeah, I got something going on with the left eye. I'm going to address it. When I play one of these videos, I might full screen it, and I might run over and grab some Visine and hit reset, because it is a blinking fiasco over here. Thank you for your concern. Kenneth off the top rope with the super chat. Elbow down onto his opponent. He found some lint in his pocket. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate you. That'll get me a gallon of gas these days. Woohoo! 17 more and I can fill the blazer. Thank you, sir. Every bit counts. Every bit is appreciated. America runs on Duncan. I run on the generosity of viewers like you. So thank you so much. These turn into tiny rock-like particles that bond to lashes and become irritated. Yeah, I'm gonna flush my eye. Okay, yes, of course, Unholy Hoax. We talked about music for a while. Had a sit down with Unholy Hoax. Got to meet him and hang out. That was awesome. And he's like, "Oh, I love those shows you had with Blake. You guys would bicker and go at each other for a little bit." He's like, "That made good watching." I was like, "Oh, so because of that conversation, I've had Blake on the show twice in this week. So thank you for that." But yes, you got that. I got my hashtag pipe. Yeah, when was that song out? In early 2000s, maybe? Late 90s, early 2000s? if they redid it today. I've got my hashtag pipe. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, Unholy Hoax turns into Unholy Smokes. Or Unholy Smokes, the best stuff. Thank you, Kenneth. I will buy that gumball that I've been eyeing all these days. Nephilim be like, where all the earth women at? Where all them earth women at? What was that thing Howard Stern would play all the time? Where the white women at? I don't know if that was from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. I forget what that was lifted from, but I digress. Anyway, Canada, stop smoking us out up there, and prayers to Alberta Arnold and Northern David and Dina up in Michigan and all of our viewers in Ohio. We certainly hope that you're going to be able to get through this. All right, let's get to the stories in the stack, shall we? Where are them earth women at? Where the earth women at? I did just watch Tropic Thunder again for the first time in a long time. That Robert Downey character is hilarious. All right, here's Nick Freitas talking about CIA Slotkin. Yeah, she's a CIA asset as a Democrat, messing things up. But she had a great phrase, a great quote, and it sort of gave away the Democrats' game. So that's why I'm excited to hear President Trump's address to the nation tonight. Here we go.
Well, Alyssa Slotkin has said that the Save America Act could prevent any Democrat from winning any election in any state, which is curious because all the Save America Act really does is require proof of citizenship to register to vote and then a photo ID in order to vote in federal elections. So why would that prevent Democrats from winning? Oh, I get it. You're upset because you imported an illegal population that you were depending on for future electoral success, and now that might not be possible, and you'll have to actually appeal to, Americans to win elections. Yeah, I could see why you're so upset. Well, Alyssa Slotkin has said that the Save America Act.
Alyssa Slotkin, yep. So why is John Thune allowed to get away with this? Why is Lisa Murkowski allowed to get away with this? Why is Mitch McConnell allowed to get away with this? Why are they blocking the Save America Act? And then if we do finally get it, would you want to pass the Save America Act if they somehow work it back into the NDAA and they somehow find a workaround to cede American sovereignty to the nation of Israel? Because that's a big contention point. Actually, let me ask Grok where we're at with that. Was the Israeli merger, and by the way, if we're going to merge, doesn't that become our 51st state, or are we Israel's second state? This whole partnership thing is fine and dandy. Good grief. Now I got a little fruit fly over here. I'm telling you, today, between the eyelashes and the fruit flies, it is an interesting morning. So we're asking Grok, was the Israeli merger passed or blocked? Did America cede sovereignty? Didn't spell that right. Because I saw that it was defeated 50-46. NDAA, Ro Khanna Massey voted to strip approve it. It failed in committee and was not allowed a full floor vote by the Rules Committee. Bipartisan amendment to remove it was blocked. So, hold on. So, clarify. Did the Israel thing pass or not? I've seen this reported a couple different ways. I thought it was blocked. No, the full Israel thing, Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative in the fiscal year 27 NDAA, has not yet passed into law. It advanced in the House, was included in the House Armed Services Committee version of the NDAA, and the attempt to remove it failed. The overall bill is stalled. The House NDAA has not had a full floor vote yet. A rules resolution for debate was defeated in late June. The Senate version is also still in early stages, facing delays. Strong bipartisan support expected to be on the final NDAA, which usually passes later in the year after the House-Senate negotiations, but nothing is final. Why in hell would we cede that power and sovereignty to a foreign nation? I don't want to cede that power and sovereignty to any nation. Oh my God, you're against that? Then you're anti-Semitic. No, I'm pro-common sense. Grok claims it's not ceding sovereignty or giving away power to Israel. The provision does not subordinate U.S. command, decision-making, or territory to any foreign nation. U.S. military remains fully under American control, with the President and Congress retaining all authority. What it actually does is formalize and expand existing U.S.-Israeli defense technology cooperation by appointing a single Pentagon official to coordinate joint research and development, testing, and production in areas like missile defense, counter drones, AI, cyber, and biotech. It allows... where did that go? It allows co-production, tech integration, and data sharing where both sides agree, shifting some dynamics from one-way U.S. aid toward partnership, a joint investment instead of pure grants. Similar to, but deeper than, alliances with countries like the UK, Australia, or South Korea, not a merger or loss of control. Critics like Massey and Khanna and others say there's entanglement risks. Deeper integration could make it harder for future U.S. presidents to pressure Israel or disentangle if policies diverge. Gaza, Iran, human rights concerns. Also, influence and leverage. Critics worry Israel or the U.S. lobby gains outsized sway over Pentagon priorities and supply chains or data. Some call it unprecedented access compared with other allies. Sovereignty and America First angle. Why tie the U.S. systems to a foreign military when America should prioritize domestic industry? It would create dependencies or complicate independent U.S. action. Aid politics. with declining public support for unconditional aid. Well, no, completely eroded support. Thank you. This looks like a workaround to lock in cooperation amid scrutiny. These concerns led to the failed amendments to strip the section. I thought it was okay. Yeah, I thought it was taken out, which I would be fine with. This appears to be too much. Some see it as the military-industrial complex and foreign lobby influencing policy. Grok AI says no one is ceding sovereignty. The U.S. is a superpower choosing deeper ties with an ally for perceived mutual gains in tech and security. Alliances always involve trade-offs. NATO, Five Eyes. Whether it's wise depends on your view of threats and costs and Israel's reliability versus risks of overcommitment. The bill isn't law yet, so debate continues. Congress can still modify or reject pieces of it, reflecting broader tensions in U.S. foreign policy, engagement versus restraint. Okay. So there's the background on that. I want the Save America Act. I don't want to get too damn close in this thing. That's just too close. I don't want to do that with Russia. I don't want to do it with Ukraine. I don't want to do it with Bosnia, Herzegovina. I don't want to do it with Canada or Mexico. I don't want to do it. I do not want green eggs and ham. I do not want them here or there. I do not want them anywhere. You're an anti-Semite if you don't want to cede that control and sovereignty over to Israel. No, I'm just an American with America First priorities. We can have allies, and we can keep them as a clear, distant, non-first place priority. This is sort of, raising foreign flags to the level of the United States. Nothing should be above the United States, ever. Allies are nice and all, but not at the expense of making sure we take care of ours first. Kind of hoping we can pass the Fart Act. Fathers Against Rude Television. That's actually kind of funny. That's a very sophomoric joke that I could see in used in a show or something. Fathers Against Rude Television. Then putting something rude in there. Arnold saying Ontario government is asking for federal relief funds to extinguish forest fires north of Thunder Bay. Yeah, prayers to you guys up there. I hate seeing those fires. But yeah, there's big fires with Slotkin. There's big fires with the Democrat Party. There's big fires with the deep state. And Lord willing, I don't want to hear any more talking. I don't want to hear about reports. I don't want to hear about findings tonight at this address to the nation. I don't want to hear about recommendations. I don't want to hear about panels being put into place. I don't want to hear about they're going to hold an investigative hearing. I am sick of all that crap. I want indictments. I want arrests. That's the only thing that's going to make me happy tonight. Period. Full stop. End of story. Dunzo. That's what I'm demanding tonight. And frankly, if that was going to happen tonight, I was hoping that the pre-dawn raids were going to happen, like Roger Stone or President Trump, Mar-a-Lago, or whatever you saw Jack Smith and the dirty deep state Democrats do to try to sway the public to bail on MAGA. I was hoping those arrests would have already happened. And I would have woken up to that news. And we'd find out tonight exactly why they were arrested. Ossoff and Warnock. I call him Warlock in Georgia. We'll see. I can't hold my breath. Can't hold my breath like I'm in a burning Canadian forest. Seriously, I keep talking about it. I really do feel bad. I played that clip yesterday. Oh, maybe that clip's here on the. Let me show you this.
Well, this is slot.
It hasn't been 24 hours. I might still be able to show you this terrifying.
The biggest.
None of this.
This could.
Here, look at this. A CN train. Terrifying footage captured by a rail worker.
This could potentially overtake us here. This is getting a little scary.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay. Yeah, this is.
Okay, y'all need to hurry up here. Like, seriously, we're encased in flames now.
You guys gotta go backwards. No.
Hello, Jody, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you there. I'm telling them you were notching up.
Yeah, this has got to move. This could potentially overtake us here.
Things be bad. Venezuela earthquakes, floods, and fires. I mean,
This could
it's got to be prepared for a little bit of everything.
None of this.
The biggest.
Let's keep going through it.
Well, Alyssa,
Those previous stories are the ones we covered on the PM show last night. If you missed it, go check it out. Yes, Kenneth, please, Lord, make tonight epic. Maybe as the announcement's happening, the arrests can be made. If not, I'm totally done. We're gonna, excuse me, we're releasing the files. Okay, if you found evidence of fraud and treason, arrest them. Arrest the people, globally, locally. Make it work. Danette, what's going on today? Fires and floods and bears. Oh my. Yeah, fires and floods can equal land grabs. Absolutely. And destroying cities can mean massive opportunity to sweep in and scoop up buildings. Oh, we're going to put a freeze on rent. Now the landlords can't afford to pay for the renovations and the repairs that are necessary to maintaining a property. And if you can't meet these criteria from all the bitching complainers, we're going to seize it and take it for ourselves. That's what the commies always do. That's why you don't let commies anywhere near you. Like this eyelash is to me. This is going to be my nemesis all show long. Then you reach a point and go, I think it's on the top, but maybe it could be on the side or the bottom. Gentry Gevers says it's been 10 months since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and there's been no sexual scandals or stories of misappropriation of funds. He really was as good as we all thought he was. He practiced what he preached. Get married, have children, build a legacy, pass down your values, pursue the eternal, seek true joy. And now the internet is more concerned about how he died than how he lived. That line is tough to hear because I go, damn, there is a lot of truth in that. Now the internet is more concerned about how Charlie died than how he lived. And it's sad. His example should be followed, not overshadowed by his early death. Agree. More explosions in Dubai. Is this Iranian attacks on all of their neighbors? Let's take a look. Since you bring it up, since you're bringing me some updated news, let me just Dubai attack. Let's see here on. I don't recognize any of these sites. Not that it's not happening, but I can't. I usually don't share. 35 minutes ago, explosions reported downtown Dubai. Bricks News shared that. I don't trust any of these videos anymore. You see smoke in a skyline. Booms heard downtown Dubai. Not entirely certain. I don't see that anyone's. Iran launches ballistic missiles toward UAE. First Iranian strike on UAE in over 2 months. Multiple explosions reported across Dubai and Abu Dhabi, according to the Hormuz letter. I'll share that because that's their report. All right. Well, here we are. Turns out you can't negotiate with the Islamic Republican Guard Corps. I think I'm saying that right. Oh, I told you Mike invited me on to his live stream tonight. 9 p.m. Join us. We'll watch the Trump speech live, and hopefully it'll be some good stuff. And if it's not, I mean, I might just end up sinking my head and slunching my shoulders. Yeah, Iran has its Ayatollah, and I'm having my eyelash tolla. It's taking a tolla on me today. Eyelash tolla. Oh, I'm going to get this resolved, I swear to you folks. Or I'm going to put on my glasses. Probably misses his old glasses. Mike Barra put this out. Supreme Court rules that anyone born inside a Taco Bell now has dual Mexican and American citizenship. It's what the framers of the 14th Amendment would have wanted. Amy Coney Barrett came out and said, essentially in front of Congress, asking for more support so that they can have more funding, so that they can have more security. She said, I keep getting threatened. They're mailing packages to me with assassinated people's names on them, warning me that I'm next. I've had credible death threats. I was given a bulletproof vest. My kids are terrified. I'm terrified. The bags under my eyes are massive. And I'm too scared to actually vote the way that we're supposed to follow the Constitution and the guiding principles of this nation. She's been threatened into voting with the dirty, deep state, diabolical, demonic Democrats. So you should step down and let somebody in that's going to be like Clarence Thomas and do what needs to be done, say what needs to be said, and power through. Because if the threats and the intimidation work, our country is lost. Supreme Court. If you're born inside a Taco Bell, you get dual Mexican American. That's pretty funny. Operation Butthurt put this out. MAGA looking at this going, Israel killed Charlie Kirk? I'm not even looking at that. Hold on a minute now. You're saying Iran killed Lindsey Graham? Yeah, I'm all in on that conspiracy theory. Not that other one. I get it. I hear both people talking about it. You tell me. You tell me. But that is happening in MAGA right now a little bit. But I don't know there was more that Iran killed Lindsey Graham. It was more that Russia killed him. Because the stuff that Lindsey was pushing was against Russia. Pro-Russian sanctions, as it were. Pro-Russian sanctions. Danette says, yeah, that's what Massey did. And then his seat was bought out. Yeah, I've heard that. I like a lot of what Massey has done. I haven't been a fan of Massey consistently blocking President Trump and the MAGA agenda, vote after vote after vote after vote. And as far as a seat getting bought out, yes, a bunch of money pumped in, but a bunch of money pumps into any campaign. But if we want to talk about the APAC money, which should, I mean, it's a foreign lobbying, they say that they don't need to register as a foreign lobby group. Yes, they do. They're a foreign lobby group. Like a man is a man, a woman is a woman, the sky is blue, and APAC is a foreign lobbying group. I think I've heard, was it Ted Cruz? I might be confusing who it was, trying to make the argument, no, it's an American lobbying group. It's called the American Israeli Political Action Committee. It's about lobbying for Israel. It's a foreign country. Just put your cards on the table and play face up. There's no need to obfuscate that. But I guess my point about money, Hillary Clinton had a massive war chest in 2016. I don't want to think about Hillary in her chest. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. Too early in the morning for that. Too early in the afternoon for that. All right, Arnold is begging me to dampen my eyelashes. Yeah. I'll find the right video, and I will do that. I am not winking at you. I am crushing your head. I am pinching your head. Ay, Dios mío. But the point I was making, it didn't matter how much money Hillary and the Democrats put up. America didn't want Hillary and the Democrats. I saw all these attack ads. I'm like, I mean, it doesn't sway me in my vote. I don't know how Kentuckians used to like Thomas Massey. But it wasn't just about Israeli things that Massey was voting against. It was budget stuff. And Massey's like, I am a libertarian. I have the best ideas on planet Earth. I look down my nose at you. And if you do not do exactly as I say, I shall block you as a hero. You will erect a statue to me and bow down before me. And I think Trump just kind of got sick of that shit. But Massey's also right. The spending is too atrocious. It's too big. On the counter flip side, opposite end of that argument is that Trump is battling a deep state that's been locked in. The claws have sunk into America for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades. You sort of want to give this commander-in-chief a war chest to try to right some of these wrongs. If you don't have a funded budget, you can't fix these things. Deportations of 40 million people being amongst the highest of agenda items. Building the wall infrastructure so that we can just set a bouncer at the choke point to the nightclub and check IDs of the people coming in and find out have we vetted you? Have you been banned by any? Yes, we talk all of the clubs on this street talk. We're in the bar section, the nightclub area. And if you get kicked out of another bar, you're a known problem. You've stolen stuff, you vandalized stuff, you're fighting. We don't want you downtown messing up the experience for everybody else. You're on our do not let in list. How is Trump going to do that? How is MAGA going to do that? How is Department of Homeland Security going to do that without a budget? And Massey's like, nope, too much spending. I'm voting against. I'm teaming up with Ro Khanna, one of the dumbest POSs in the Democrat Party. That's saying something. Ro Khanna, what a hero. He's just as disingenuous and crooked as the rest of them. But yeah, they temporarily lock arms on civil liberty issues, but then it's like they drag you underwater like somebody drowning, like the Democrat Party clearly is. They've resorted to going full, yeah, like in Tropic Thunder. Never go full socialist. Never go full communist. You went full communist. You never go full socialist. Everybody knows. Never go full socialist. But the Democrats have gone full socialist, and you're never supposed to do that. So I don't know. Did the money change it? Did Massey's policy change it? I don't know. Danette says Israel did take him out. Russia. Yeah, and Blake was like, well, I feel like maybe Lindsey Graham was taken out in the bombing strike from Russia at the Ukrainian drone factory. I go, okay. Well, I guess we have phantom phone calls between Mitch McConnell and Scott Jennings, who worked on his campaign, allegedly. And then President Trump and Lindsey Graham. Oh, I talked to him for a while, and he was doing fine. No, Kenneth, I am not going to picture Hillary in a teddy, although I did find something interesting. One of my prized possessions is the Hillary Clinton Madam President. Maybe it was Newsweek. It's a full magazine because she became president. Oh, and I love it so. I love it so. It's one of my prized possessions, as well as my Kamala banner from the convention floor, like those tall rectangular Kamala. I was walking through Chicago and outside of a pub on a city corner. It was behind the dumpster. I'm like, oh, I'm taking this. Oh, yes, I am taking scalps on this one. I'm not going to forget the time the Democrats tried to push Kamala Harris past us. You know I'm right. Yeah, that You Know I'm Right was a cool release from Nirvana after Kurt's passing. That says Trump and Israel are like Satan and Saddam. Come on, guy. Come on, buddy. No, Satan. No, Saddam. You've been disrespecting me too much. I'm just joking, pal. Come on, buddy. Danette, if everyone voted with their conscience about the budget, it wouldn't be an issue. I just know that the commander-in-chief needs a war chest, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. Okay, Arnold is demanding that I go address the eye. If I keep this up, it's going to get worse. I'm going to get an eye infection. Florida's under attack from a dust storm in Africa. I bless the dust down in Africa. It's going to take some time to do that thing that never had. Ooh. Speaking of Weezer, it's a great cover. That song, the cover by Weezer, started because an Ohio teenage girl who was playing, I think she was playing bass, she kept tweeting them, going, come on, Weezer, cover Africa. Weezer, cover Africa. And they teased her, and then they said, here it is. And they covered a different Toto song, I think. I forget what song. But then the next day they released and go, just kidding. And they released the cover by Weezer of Africa, and the kid's like, ah! And that song became Weezer's first #1 hit in 20 years. I love the internet, you know? I love the internet when it does that. Anyway.
Things like this.
Okay. Steven Crowder having a conversation, talking about the political violence from the left wing. Oh, it's prevalent. And Steven Crowder, as much as Charlie Kirk. I mean, Crowder and Kirk were two of the biggest names that would go to these campuses and try to engage in conversation and debate. And we find that Republicans, you know, I don't identify as Republican, mind you. Libertarian, constitutionalist, conservative, capitalist, small government. I don't know exactly what I am. I know that I'm not whatever the Democrats are selling, and I've never been my entire life what the Democrats are selling. Republicans, I often say the only thing worse than a Republican is a Democrat. And I've often called them two wings of the same dirty bird. But people non-Democrats have gotten really used to having to debate, consider various viewpoints, make the case, and go from there. Democrats aren't used to it. What they do, they get violent. And Crowder's going to talk about this here.
Things like this.
Because we get killed for it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
And only the right. Only the right gets killed for this anyway. You're seeing the one that got through. The reason I stopped doing this for years is because every single time out was a violent attack. Sometimes it was a rock. Sometimes it was a milkshake, could be concrete, acid, chocolate, vanilla, I don't know. Doxing, fire bombings, Molotov cocktails. Maya Angelou spoke at SMU only a few years before my first time here, didn't need this kind of security. And you can see it if you observe your speakers here. And I'll tell you why that is. If you look at the polls post-assassination of Charlie Kirk, and you label yourself as a moderate, those who identify as liberal support political violence at a ratio of 6-1 to conservative. We see the same stats after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. We see the same stats after the fire bombings of the Tesla dealership. And we see the same stats on the opposite side, those on the right roundly condemning political violence. The lowest you'll find is 72. You usually find it in the high 80s. You will not find a number that breaks half on the left.
Okay, you mentioned Donald Trump. Can we jump to that for just a minute?
Donald Trump, sure. I assumed we would.
Things like this.
Because we get killed for it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
And only the right. Only the right gets killed for this anyway. You're seeing the one that got through. The reason I stopped doing this for years is because every single time out was a violent attack. Sometimes it was a rock. Sometimes it was a milkshake.
Yep. And when I was in Chicago amongst all those communists, I felt really... I felt very aware of my surroundings. Speaking of being aware, damn those diabolical Dems. Yeah, I'm telling you, Unholy Hoax, we're going to have to put that on some merch. Damn those dirty Dems. Damn those diabolical Dems. Damn the Dems. Damn those Dems. Some version of that. We're going to have to put them on some mugs or some merch. Speaking of which, if anybody wants a cup, shoot me a Venmo with your address. If anybody wants some, the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, that's my sports show. $30 for 4 Ohio-made wooden coasters. $25 for our The Unhappy Hour Sports Show pin. We have the coasters in circle shape and Ohio shaped. Shoot me a Venmo. 2 of the coaster sets for $50, 1 for $30, and the pin for $25. Mugs for $40. It includes shipping. I know we all got used to this free shipping thing, but like this dude here's got to pay shipping, and these mugs are like $12 or something. Plus, I don't know where I'm mailing them to, so you got to kind of sort it out there. But I do want to get merch to people that want them. But yeah, I'm thinking, damn those Dems, damn those diabolical Dems. It's a great catchphrase. I want everybody in chat to kind of test out some catchphrases. Here's your homework, should you choose to accept it. Create some catchphrases. I want to see them. Unholy Hoax has damn the Dems. It's a great one. Damn those dirty Dems, or damn a variation. Unholy Hoax, what is your favorite variation of damn those Dems, damn those dirty Dems, damn the Dems, or the damn the diabolical, damn the demonic Dems? What is your favorite variation of that? Ortho, when he comes in, he's got Ortho. Are you here? I haven't been able to see chat because of that eyelash. Fun fact, I have super long eyelashes like a broad, like a chica, like a big booty Latina, says Alex Stein. I do have really wicked long eyelashes. And I was able to kind of push them back and angle them up. And I did find a stray, and I did pluck the stray. And now my eye is not watering. And for you, who's telling me all the stuff to clean the eye? Was that Arnold or who? Yeah, Arnold. Alberta Arnold. I did get a cloth, and I did apply some water, and I did rinse the area. So hopefully this has resolved the situation. Yeah, it's not in my peripheral now. It was two of them that were bent down. I kept leaning it up, and then one came down. I plucked that one. I'm like, be gone with you. Randy Republicans? Well, Randy Republicans might be your least favorite one, like that Randy Fine, right? Guy that wears the hat. Personally, it's damn those dirty Dems. Yes, I think damn those dirty Dems. It's great. But I want everyone to try some catchphrases. David, Kenneth, Patriot Warrior, Danette, all of it. And everyone, make sure you smash the thumbs up button. If you're on an app that lets you tippy tap on the screen and it shoots up hearts or confetti or things, do that a couple times. It lets YouTube know that you can continue to keep us on the suggested pages. Let me show you what Patriot Warrior sent me. So where are you seeing this? It was under the show a bit ago. Did China install Biden in 2020 coup against Trump in America? YouTube featured. Yeah, I'm not entirely. So it was under the show a bit ago. That's cool. Thank you for letting me know that. Anything we can do to take steps to move this show forward and invite more people to the bar. I want to bartend, but, you know, the shift has to cover the bills, or else I got to go schlub some other gig to make the mortgage, you know? Yeah, so it's nice. That's a good sign that maybe some of our 6,500 subscribers might occasionally be shown the fact, oh, this channel's still up and going. You know, how many of those 6,500 subscribers have never been notified when we're live? How are we going to get our audience if the distribution method of YouTube decides to not show them? Mark's trying out some catchphrases. Damn it, man, I'm a doctor, not a physicist. They're going to happen. They're going to happen organically, I think. We're going to find the catchphrases. All right.
Things like
Crowder's right about the tactics of the left. Abel's Takes says, a society that protects the rights. Okay, there, the framing looks good. A society that protects rights only for those considered oppressed will naturally encourage more people to identify as victims. Yep. If you reward victimhood, then you end up with a nation of victims. That's common sense 101. You got to think about that. All the Democrats push is how everyone's a victim. If you're a woman, you're a victim. If you're not straight, you're a victim. If you're not Christian, you're a victim. It's just constantly. And then, you know, it is funny when two victims start battling with each other to determine who's the bigger victim in the hierarchy of rankings. That's how it all goes. I'm a trans, disabled, non-binary woman of color or something. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm a blind, paralyzed. Well, it's an oppression Olympics. It's exhausting. America is about compassion for the people who are having a hard time and doing the best we can to try to help humanity. Just like we try to stop and help a raccoon drowning in the Austin River that we shared yesterday, or when we try to pull a cat or a dog or a parakeet out of the Venezuela rubble. You know, we want to. Hold on. Danette says Facebook thinks I'm a black rich black nurse. And Google thinks I'm an old male Republican. I mean, your algorithm's got to be wild. I gotta say. All right, let's keep it rolling.
In the coming days, there may be a fair amount of conversation.
Weird that I can't click this to watch this whole thing. Mike Lee says, as efforts unfold to enact key features of the Save America Act using budget reconciliation, you may hear arguments from the Parliamentarian Infallibility Club insisting on slavish devotion to the Senate parliamentarian. Don't fall for any of it. Let's freaking go. Get rid of her. And YouTube will not want me play. Oh, I'm sorry, YouTube. Instagram will not let me play based Senator Mike Lee, one of the only decent people in the Senate. Censorship, election interference. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to click this and watch the original source video.
Budget reconciliation and about what can happen on budget reconciliation as far as getting significant parts of the Save America Act, or at least some of the benefits of the Save America Act, passed through budget reconciliation, which allows us to do it at 51 votes without a 60-vote cloture vote. One of the arguments you're going to hear over and over again is we've got to protect the parliamentarian. The parliamentarians' rulings have to be sacrosanct. They can't be overturned. Look, nobody's calling for the parliamentarians' rulings to be overturned. Why? Because the parliamentarian doesn't rule. She lacks that power. Only the presiding officer rules. The parliamentarian merely offers advice. The presiding officer, whether that's the Vice President of the United States, the President pro tem, or the acting President pro tem, meaning a senator from the majority party who is assigned at
All right. Well, they wouldn't let me play that whole clip because I'm going to call it election interference from Instagram. Hey, Florida people. Where are my Florida peeps in chat? Who's in Florida? Who lives in Florida down there? Kenneth? Who else we got down there? Check this Blue Angels flyover that stuns Florida beachgoers. Look at this. ABC News. Dude. Now that's fine out there. Oh my God, what are you doing right over the beach? I'm not saying it's likely that would have ended poorly. But it's not a zero chance. Now, what is this from? What day? On Wednesday. So it's not like for an Independence Day party. Navy officials confirm that Blue Angels leadership is reviewing the circumstances surrounding the maneuver and conducting a thorough safety review. And this second crap. How do we feel about this? I mean, this is very close to a lot of people. And if anything goes wrong, this is an absolute calamity. I'll say it's pretty freaking cool. And I also don't think it's a good idea. Can both of those two things be true at the same time? Can both of those be true? I think so. Yeah, they blew by. I would never forget that moment, that's for sure. But that's painful. And what do we got here? Views of just one of the wildfires ripping across Ontario, Canada. Yeah, this is right in your backyard, folks. David, how close are you to this? How bad does it smell? Are you scared? Are you worried about, do you have an evacuation route? Do you have family and friends in the area? Like, tell me more, David. How are you doing? This is like David's backyard. This is David's. Dude. It says fires in Minnesota and Canada have made air quality across the east coast of the United States unsuitable for everyone. Hundreds of thousands of acres have burned in the last 48 hours. Good grief. Oh, sorry, I didn't have it explained. Now, by the way, this could be AI and it could be a fire from something else. Who knows? View every piece of content you want with a grain of salt. Well, while this creator didn't give credit in the caption, this video was originally Lindo Tyler. Who's Lindo Tyler? I don't know, but I'll follow you. I take pictures of stuff. Well, I followed you. Oh, what is this? China minutes? Social media sparked a community rescue of a stray cat stranded by typhoon floods. That just jumped into the basket. Once again, is this AI? Is this really China? Who knows? But I'm going to suspend disbelief in stray cats stranded near a bridge in Jilin, China, after Typhoon Bavi caused severe flooding. Oh, man. Many passers-by noticed the cat and began sharing its location on social media, asking for help. Someone please help rescue it. Urgent rescue needed. No, I'm not making fun of the Chinese language. I'm a mimic. I make sounds. I try to. I hear something and I try to recreate it. Sometimes it works. Frankly, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, there's music. Oh, I gotta watch the music. Oh, but look at that poor cat. The online appeal drew local volunteers and a DJI drone team to the rescue. God, I feel like this is the type of content, if I play it, I'm going to get a copyright strike because it's bait. They want you to share this or play this so they can steal your advertising revenue for showing it. But we do push on Facebook. Go to groups and type in TNAM Animal Rescue, TNAM Animal Rescue, and join our private Facebook group, would you? Large crowds gathered while thousands watched via live stream, hoping for a happy ending. I mean, this appears to be a real story. Gotta mute the music. Dropping a bucket, a basket. Oh, and the cat's like, let me in. That is... 3 rescue attempts were needed before this happened. Oh my gosh. Kitten was finally brought to safety and given some food. This member of the DJI drone team later adopted the kitten. Ah, maybe this is a DJI stunt to get some positive coverage. Oh, he's already adopted more than 30 stray cats. Hey, pal, that's great, but those are rookie numbers. You gotta get those numbers up, says Matthew McConaughey. I've told you before how we trapped TNR programmed about 130 cats in Los Angeles, found permanent homes for about roughly 40 to get them off the streets. Well, that's great. That's a nice story. Can't wait to find out tomorrow that it was just an advertisement for DJI and the cat wasn't real and my emotions weren't real and this life isn't real. It's just a video game simulation. I quit. I tap out. Control Alt Delete. I'm done. I'm going to suspend disbelief and believe this is a really nice, real story. Nithya Raman, was she even real?
What I just found out about Nithya Raman actually concerns me. So Spencer Pratt made a post a little bit ago saying, have you noticed Nithya Raman has gone missing? You know, she's running for mayor.
And there's too much music in the background. They're going to go, well, you plunked on the piano 3 times. We're going to take all of your copyright. Nope, you couldn't advertise on the show today. We'll take all that because something in the background went bing, bing, bing. They're the ones that really did the work today, if you think about it. Some AI piano song. Anyway, but the point is, Nithya Raman's not...
He made it out of...
She's not really running a race. She was there so that Spencer Pratt could be blocked out of the race because they don't have a Republican against a Democrat. You can put two Democrats against each other. She's the one that rolled her eyes and said, there's no difference. It doesn't matter if you got a homeless, crazy person 1 foot away or 500 feet away from the entrance of a school. The people at this rally, this event, they're like, what is wrong with you? Are you a lunatic? She rolls her eyes at him. No, this woman did not have some mystical surge mystical surge. Sounds like a good wrestler name, maybe a band name. Mystical surge. Superpower in like Power Rangers or Pokemon. Spencer Pratt says, notice how Nithya Raman just completely disappeared after they blocked us out of the general election. She's not campaigning at all, like a pickpocket disappearing into the crowd. She's a ghost. So the question is now, is it possible that Spencer Pratt was part of a sting operation to expose the Democrat cheating? Oh, Lord Almighty. I can't have hopium. Hopium's one of the worst drugs around. But I will say, man, would it be glorious to watch the deep state Dems get taken to task. Yeah, they did. I forget what they called it, choice ranked or voter ranked or tiered, or I forget what it's called. But yeah, instead of just the top Republican versus the top Democrat, they made it so that two Democrats can just box out any opposition. And then you select which one of you wants to actually win and who's not going to run against them. But yeah, J.D. Vance was on with Rogan yesterday talking about how L.A. was obviously rigged. Garbaggio says a mural that is honoring Irina Zarutska, the 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee fatally stabbed by a demon on a light rail train in Charlotte, North Carolina in August of 25. Yeah, just a couple weeks before Charlie. The mural's been removed in Chicago after repeated vandalism and backlash. It's been replaced with abstract art. I could understand someone vandalizing a George Floyd memorial. He's a guy that died during a police encounter. Some claim that he had his neck broken by the cops. That didn't happen. He was asphyxiated by the cops. Well, there's varying reports. Some say that he overdosed. It was pretty clear on the videotape, on the body camera footage from the officer who arrested him and watched George Floyd crashing out, freaking out, having a panic attack, heart attack, overdose, all at the same time. And he went motionless, and the cop just kept his knee in that spot. It looked like he was on his knee killing him, but he didn't. It was an arrest. It was an overdose. It was a heart attack. It was something that was not a police execution. You can understand why some people might want to vandalize a George Floyd mural going, this guy stuck a gun into the belly of a pregnant woman while he was dressed as a utility worker, cable guy, phone guy, or something. Did a home breaking and entering thing, could have taken the life of this woman and her baby. He was stealing from that convenience store, passing fake Monopoly money off, non-money, stealing from the store, eating all the fentanyl, then overdosing. You go, I don't want this person on the side of a building. This is not a good dude. Even if you think he was taken out under bad circumstances with bad policing, which many people say, no, he put his knee on the triangle of the neck and the back and the shoulder, exactly as Minneapolis training told him to do. He's been sacrificed to the woke mob and he did nothing wrong. His actions did not cause the death of George Floyd. And George Floyd was a career criminal dirtbag. I don't want to see that on the side of the building. You can understand why some people would say that and maybe vandalize that. Tell me, what did Irina Zarutska ever do bad to anybody? I'll wait. I've never once heard that this beautiful, young, innocent, sweet human being did anything wrong to anybody. The only thing she did wrong on that train was turning her back to the demon behind her who snuffed out her life and said, I got her. I got that white girl. I got that white girl. I got her. A racist demon slaughtered her for having lighter skin than him. She did nothing wrong to anybody. Why in the world would you vandalize that? Repeat offender DeCarlos Brown Jr. Many prior arrests. Been deemed unfit for trial for both state and federal proceedings. No current trial date. Yeah, you're fit to take her life, but you're not fit to stand trial. So there you go. Yeah, abstract art. Let's just slap a bunch of nothing over her face and wipe her out. We're going to whitewash this moment from history. The fuck is that? What are we looking at? What is that garbage? American HFD says, crazy to vandalize a mural of someone whose only crime was not being racist. Had she been racist or statisticist, maybe she would have sat on the other side of the train and not turned her head to someone that could snuff her life for being white. Scott Adams said, there is a problem in America with the Democrat Party, the lying legacy media, social media. They have poisoned academia. They have poisoned the black community to hate white people. There is nothing like that in the white community, poisoning the white community to hate black people. But it's happening nonstop. Scott Adams was canceled for saying, I can't fix this. I can't help this. If you're living in a black area, get the away. Get away. And if Arena had sat on a different spot and not turned her back to a demon that hated her because she's a white girl. She's a white girl. I got that white girl. Maybe she'd be alive. Is that monster still in jail? Yeah, I guess, yeah. Some facility unfit to stand trial. Don't worry. In 5 to 7 years, he'll totally be okay and they'll dump him back into the general population again. Exactly. If you have the mental capacity to say, I got that white girl, I got that white girl, that is an admission of guilt and premeditation and hate crimes. Except, have you ever seen a black on white hate crime that's been prosecuted as a hate crime? Seems like that was a made up phrase just to attack white people and shame more white people into letting black people do all sorts of terrible things so that you can't ever speak up against it without being called a bad name, a racist or a this or that. Oh, but you see hate crimes all the time. As long as you can pin the tail on Whitey. Good grief, everyone. Good grief, everyone. Anyway, ugh. And also, look, it's been a year. I understand that art can change. Maybe it was meant to be up for a year and then you're going to turn it into something different. Maybe. And maybe that does change once a year. But you also sort of need to be reminded of the poison in the black community that's being taught to hate whitey so much. It's bad. Not everywhere, but it's bad. The fact that it's anywhere, it's bad. Typically, the white community doesn't like elements of the black community because of the super increased rate of criminal activity. That's crime statistics. It's not that the white community doesn't typically dislike the black community, the Asian community, the Hispanic community, the this or that community because of the pigment of their skin. It's because of the actions of the aggregated percentages of that demographic. It's the behavior, stupid. Well, what's that famous phrase in most elections? It's the economy, stupid. I don't care about your back and forth party politics. It's the economy, stupid. That's what people care about. That's what we care about, the economy. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what's flying spaghetti monster in the sky you worship as a god or a false god. Do your thing. But if your actions are like the video I'm going to play you in Baltimore coming up in a second, where it was a 6-on-1 black on white attack, stomping a 70 or 80-year-old dude, robbing him, shoving a gun in his face, brandishing a sword outside of a 7-Eleven. Yeah. Where's that being prosecuted as a hate crime? It's up national news. It's all over the place. Can you believe this white man was attacked in a racially motivated attack? 6-on-1, ganged up on. It feels like every week we share these stories. Gangs of black youth. They're always called black youth. Maybe it's because they are youthful. Or maybe it's because we just, just kids being kids. Trying to whitewash it away. Just kids being kids. Danette says, tinfoil hat time. I think a lot of the black on white hate is taught as an MK Ultra plot to divide the classes against the races for the NWO. Yeah, keep us fighting. You have your bread and circuses, but you fight amongst yourselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, DeCarlos Brown, unfit for trial. That means you go to a mental facility for the rest of your life with no possibility for parole ever. Or the electric chair because you're an abomination in God's eyes and you've squandered your one chance at life. We're not letting you have a second chance to re-enter society. Zero remorse, zero leniency, zero empathy. Go to hell, burn in hell, and we'll help send you there. So either go to a facility for life or strap into the electric chair. But you don't get to gum back and take another life. You racist demon DeCarlos Brown. But anyway, I want to grant leniency saying you could paint over a mural. That's fine. You don't need to keep a mural forever. But there were black paint vandalism splatters all over it prior to it being painted over. And maybe that first vandalism led to this new paint job in the first place. So I don't know. Yeah, Danette saying so that when the Civil War comes, it's us against each other instead of against Palantir. Instead of flock cameras, we're fighting and robbing each other. Non-suicidically empathetic says, but the whole effing world must worship woman-attacking felon St. George Floyd taking a knee. Oh, look at that, taking a knee. But nothing for Henry Nowak, a UK citizen. Ah, yes, Matt Van Swole reminds us, don't forget that Democrats refused to stand to honor Irina Zarutska's mother at the State of the Union. One of the most radicalizing moments in my life. They never cared about immigrants. It was all a lie. Watch.
Over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail, stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget there were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zarutska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. Arrested over a dozen. How do you not stand? How do you not stand?
Democrats calling them out. How did you not stand and show some humanity toward them?
I'm asking this Congress to.
They didn't show a picture of it, but Trump saw that the Democrats didn't stand at that moment. It's like, what in hell is wrong with you? Everything, for the most part. Yeah.
Here's a.
All right, well, let's take a look at the chessboard as Tim Pool sees it. Off the top ropes with the double elbow. Kenneth with the super chat. Can I get a bowl of Disco Stew? Hey, Disco Stew doesn't advertise. Stupid Stew likes to boogaloo. Hey. But if these trends continue, hey. Kenneth, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. If anybody else wants to drop a silver coin or two into our tip jar back there, it means the world to us over here at the New American Media. fighting to deliver you information in an honest, thought-provoking, entertaining manner, and helping build community in chat. You know, like this is a good place to gather and get our heads straight on stuff. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Kenneth. All right, Tim Pool here, kind of looking at the globe and showing what's happened in Trump's first year. A lot of people are out on Trump. A lot of people are frustrated by Trump. A lot of people think Trump has, he's being pulled around on puppet strings and Trump is this or that, or he hasn't delivered on this or that. But it's like, he doesn't have Congress. He doesn't have the Supreme Court. They claim he does, but they have people blocking him. Like oh no, you could take this freeway. It's wide open. Go. You go, sir, there are road mines right there. It's wide open. Drive it if you want. Yeah, there's landmines. I can see them. And that's what Amy Coney Barrett has been. Mitch McConnell, John Thune, traitors to this nation. So there's only so much he can do. But Tim Pool's laying out some of the strategic geopolitical actions that have taken place in the past year and a half. And yes, the pain at the pump is literal right now. It is painful. However, look at it. If tonight, during the address to the nation, President Trump is going to reveal that China hacked our election and in a coup removed President Trump and installed Joe Biden, we don't know what he's going to say. But if that's the case, isn't it interesting the moves that have been made to isolate and stop China from unfair advantage in the competition in the global marketplace, since this nation has probably been sold out to China for decades? Moscow Mitch. Well, you got Moscow Mitch. You got, I don't know. There's so many nicknames. I'm starting to lose them all. Was it Feinstein or Pelosi or both? They had a Chinese spy for a driver for 5 decades. Joe Biden is putting his presidential library of top secret classified documents at the facility that was given a big Chinese check. Was it University of Delaware? So that they can have access to steal all the American secrets. Didn't Hillary have a secret server in her closet that China was accessing to get access to all of our top secret information? China has been all about stealing American intellectual property, stealing American secrets, violating any of these sanctions across the globe to get super cheap energy, then using that super cheap oil and gas, coal-fired polluting power plants while we're trying to go green to buy the power panels from China, who's manufacturing them, many of them being pieces of junk, by the way. So they can use slave labor to create products cheaper than we can in America so that we end up closing all of our own shops. We don't manufacture anything in this country, and we're going to be total slaves to China. Well, to those of you who say, nope, America is a slave to Israel right now, and Trump is just a Zionist puppet. He's an empty suit. He's a waste of space. He was in the Epstein files, I tells you. Look, there's an email that says something without any evidence or proof that was ever shown in any court of law that's done anything other than show that Trump is the one that got Epstein kicked out of Mar-a-Lago, got him. He was the only one that returned the phone calls to get Epstein, I said indoctrinated, indicted in Florida. And it's the Democrats that are hiding the details of that Florida case, which is the case that went to trial and actual evidence was used. Yeah, the Trump administration is the one that took Epstein out. But yes, he's just a puppet. He's a Putin puppet one election cycle. Then he's a Zionist puppet. Then what? He's a China puppet. What type of puppet for today? Pick a day and we'll tell you what Trump is. However, if you look at the globe, if you look geostrategically at the moves that are being made, it sure seems like we have a commander-in-chief that's decoupling the United States influence from bad actors and trying to win this game instead of being China's bitch. Here's Tim Pool showing us on a map what we're talking about.
Here's Iran. Here's the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil supply. China gets around half of their energy from the Strait of Hormuz. The United States, what's the first thing he did? First he renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Now there it is on Google. Isn't that crazy? So Trump starts blowing up these narco boats, clearing out violent and dangerous traffic from the Caribbean.
And I've never really looked at it this way. I guess this is like a topological map. Am I saying that right? Just right down here to right through here. I mean, it's like a freeway. It's like a diagonal equal sign. Gulf of America. Yeah, you want American oil? Go to the Gulf of America. In Venezuela, right here. You can't have narco boats doing their shit off the coast of there. This all needs to be cleared. And the deep state actors who have been running this planet for far too long, running it into the ground, trying to take America down, by the way, have had free reign of most of this down here. That's not the case anymore.
He then conquers Venezuela, renegotiates Panama, and isolates Cuba.
And don't forget about renegotiating the Panama Canal and the importance of that, since we built the freaking thing. And now Cuba's isolated. Cuba, Venezuela, Iran, they're not selling their cheap-ass, half-price sanctioned war oil to China anymore. So it looks like the negotiating power has changed a little bit, has it not? But we think in such short term, it's like, the gas has been bad for a couple of months now. I can't believe it. I got to vote Democrat. No. Let's kind of let him cook. Give him a second. Let's reconfigure the strategic positioning on the globe, on our planet, from Greenland down to Venezuela. This whole hemisphere needs to be stuff that we got a working arrangement with, and we don't have bad actors messing it up for everybody else. Just like if you just take care of your city, Charlotte, you don't let a racist demon like DeCarlos Brown, out to kill a white girl because I got that white girl. I got the white girl. And if we take care of our business in our hemisphere and we don't allow the bad actors to do all the narco terrorism, all the human trafficking, the suffering, the child abuse, the slave labor, all the bullshit that happens from time immemorial on this planet, if we stamp some of this crap out, it's done. Look at what Bukele's done in El Salvador. Look at what's happening in, Malay, Bukele, Argentina, El Salvador. All you got to do is some common sense stuff and get rid of the bad guys. Anyway, let me let Tim Pool continue.
The Gulf is now one of the largest oil export regions, if not the largest in the world. The Gulf.
There you go. Gulf of, not Mexico, the Gulf of America. One of the largest, if not the largest, oil exporting stations in the world. It's Earth's Buc-ee's. Yeah, I think I like having a commander-in-chief who understands strategy and putting things together, negotiating deals, working from positions of power, and making sure that we are not getting ripped off. Because the Republicans and Democrats have been absolutely in a greasy orgy of rip-off for far too long. So I do want to give him a little bit of leeway, and I do want him to cook. And I can still have concerns about 100 things that's happening and 100 things that haven't happened in the Trump administration. But on a lot of major issues, I'm seeing a lot of important progress being made.
Of America has displaced the Strait of the Gulf of, the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. Is that what it is? Yeah, the Gulf of Oman and the Persian Gulf, the Arabian Gulf. So the whole plan here is to make the U.S. the dominant energy exporter. Now, of course, again, liberals were trying to do this through, we're going to give you money for gender studies. Trump shut all that down and he says, no, we're going to use a boot. So now we're exporting massively, largely through the port of Houston. It's pretty crazy. And other areas, don't get me wrong. Trump wipes out the criminals, takes Venezuela, takes their oil. We control this whole region. Holy crap, that's crazy, right? Let's just say it like that. And now Trump has got the Strait of Hormuz shuttered, and they got to pay a fee. He says you got to pay a toll to us.
And the toll is pretty interesting. You know, on last night's TNAM PM show with Blake Wally, we kind of went halfway through the show, 2/3 through, and I'm like, all right, we can wrap there. He's like, no, well, let's do a lightning round. Like, where are the juicy stories? Where are the big stories? Let's talk about. And it's like he wanted another chance to take a few swings at the Tyler Robinson case, maybe a stray Israel story or two. And afterward we're talking. He's like, you know, you're not getting into the big stories. I'm like, Blake, there's only so much. What it sort of feels like beating a dead horse at a certain point. Some of these, I get it. What more can I add to these conversations? So I try to bring some different stuff. But the war story is a story that I'm following and I'm picking up intel on. I'm learning about, but I don't spend every day talking about the latest developments in the war with Iran. There are sources and outlets out there that will gladly do that. It doesn't mean I'm not interested in it. It doesn't mean I don't believe your story or the anti-story to your story. It just means I sort of like some of the least interesting stories to me are race-related story. Violence in the Middle East. Like some of these stories that are just like on repeat every day, you go, there's terrorism in the Middle East. There's someone crying racism. Okay. I don't find these topics particularly compelling. I find them to be pedantic, repetitive, exhausting, uninteresting, usually just bloviating, and just it's a repeat of the story from the previous day. But. Yes, Danette, everybody has to pay the toll. Doggone it. Yes, Danette, everybody has to pay the troll toll. That's not easy to say. But the story with, Blake's like, why aren't you getting into the big stories? We did 3 stories on eggs. I'm like, I like talking about more shit than just the 3 big stories. Like, I get it. But, dude, we did an hour on the Tyler Robinson case on Monday. I don't need another 40 minutes on today. You disbelieve nearly every single component on the state's case. I get disbelieving any official narrative, but on the flip side, holy shit, it feels like more of a conspiracy to believe none of those 4 videos showing Tyler on campus were Tyler. Yeah, that's a maroon shirt, but that's not his maroon shirt. Huh? Well, yeah, there's footage, but it's not close enough. I'm looking at him in the stairwell. Well, that could be anyone. Okay, I'm reading the text messages. Well, those could be anybody's text messages. I mean, holy fuck. Everything is fake about the state's case. Literally every component. No, this round couldn't have caused that damage in Charlie. Why? Hunters have come out saying, yes, a 30-06 round could have done this. No, not a full metal jacket, but the lead tipped. The lead tip is soft. It's designed to peel and spread out and bounce around inside the cavity, causing maximum damage. Oh, he's got a magic neck. There's no exit. It couldn't have gone in and hit the vertebrae and bounced down into fragments? Yes, it could have. Hunters have been, like ballistics experts have explained they could. Well, no, they couldn't. I don't believe they could. Fine, Blake, every single fucking component on this issue, everything is a fraud. Everything is a lie. Everything is fake. Israel did everything, I guess, right? Not to put words in your mouth, but I mean, that's sort of what you're getting at, maybe. Okay, every piece of information. It seems more likely for that whole batch of conclusions to be the conspiracy instead of me going, well, I'm reading the text message. That's a text message. I'm looking at the photos and videos of him. I'm looking at his car. This is the gun. This is the DNA. This is that's the guy that did it. What do you want from me? Nope. Wrong. Okay, well, fuck me then. I guess everything's wrong. In the story. You would have believed the single shooter story with Lee Harvey Oswald. Dude, look, I love a great conspiracy, but I'm not at the phase. By the way, I don't believe the state's case. I'm trying to allow myself to be open to consider the state's case. Whereas the Candace crew has said, nope, none of that ever happened. It's all a lie, probably Israel. Okay. All right. Probably, right? And Erica did it too. She was the mastermind hatching the plot. Okay. Show me the evidence of that. I haven't seen enough of that. Anyway. I know everything's fake, nothing's real. And we are still stuck in the same. I'm trying to navigate I'm navigating the nightmare. See, there's a good catchphrase. Navigating the nightmare. Danette says, I like it when you're mad, Brian. Never start a war with Greenland. Inconceivable. That's a shout out to Kenneth. He always appreciates when I knock that one off. Yeah, red pill, blue pill, black pill. I don't know. Blake has said he's been black pilled, and it's, you know, there are people who have been black pilled. There are people who have been Jew pilled. There are people that have been gold pilled. Oh no, trust the plan. Everything's coming. No, it was all a sting operation. See, we're only 10 years into this plan. Trust the plan. See, here's our plan. Nobody gets indicted. Nobody gets arrested. Inconceivable. That doesn't sound like a plan. That's the gold pilled. No, we've entered the golden age. Everything's coming, guys. Just hold your breath. And while you're holding your breath, I'm going to loot your house. Wouldn't it be nice if there were indictments and mass arrests coming? But my God, do I feel like I'm about to get let down at this Trump addressing the nation tonight? Yeah. Because you know what I heard with the JFK files, the RFK files, the MLK files, the UFO files, the Epstein files, all the things we were promised. Tulsi and Department of Health and Human Services, we're going to get down to what really happened with the COVID-19 debacle and with with Fauci interfering and running cover for China. By the way, fuck China for COVID. Fuck them as hard as you can fuck a nation. The shit they released and Fauci covered up, that Fauci fucking funded in China, killed my mother in 2020 and killed my brother 2 years later. Fuck them as far as they can be fucked. You like me angry? Good. I'm angry at China. But I don't want talk. I don't want a fucking press conference. I don't want to see special panels. I don't want to see any of that shit. I want fucking heads to roll. Figuratively, legally, with indictments for the obvious criminality of stealing 2020, releasing COVID, potentially intentionally, to run cover while the Democrats burned America down for George Floyd, to make Orange Man bad and manufacture how many fake fucking votes to give Joe Biden 81 million. Are you fucking kidding me? In the history of this great nation, 250 years. At that time, 246. Joe fucking Biden, the child sniffing creep, and Kamala Harris. That was the most popular ticket in American history. Are you out of your fucking minds? But if you don't believe that, YouTube, Google, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they censored the fuck out of me. They silenced my fucking mouth. See this right here? At the bottom of the screen. For countervailing views on health and elections, go to cdc.gov or who.int, because anything I might have said about the vaccine or the potentially intentional lab release from China of COVID-19, obviously you got to go get the real countervailing views to combat my dangerous misinformation and disinformation. By the way, the gun here is to show I'm doing this under duress. And make sure you visit cisa.gov/rumor control for countervailing views, because everybody with a brain knows that Joe Biden, the child sniffing traitor, along with Kamala Harris, who were the two least fucking popular people on the Democrat ticket until Pelosi and the Democrat machine moved Bernie Sanders and the Democrat socialists out of the way to install their puppet candidate. Go get those countervailing views. I wasn't allowed to have a fucking opinion. I wasn't allowed to talk. I sure as shit wasn't allowed to pay my goddamn mortgage with the New American Media and the TNAM Daily Show and the Agree to Disagree Show. Oh, you censored the fuck out of all my content. All of it. Still getting phantom claims from shows that were posted years ago. They're still fucking with me. They still hate the New American Media. They still hate the fucking truth. I'm not pushing an agenda. I'm trying to expose what the fuck happened. And you're goddamned right, I got a personal problem with it. You snuffed my 39-year-old brother out. You commie fucks. You liked Angry Brian? Angry Brian exists, but if I let Angry Brian out of the box all the time, it sort of becomes a slightly less pleasant version of this show. I kind of like laughing and joking and maybe not getting angry at Israel every day and maybe not getting angry at Trump every day. Maybe there are some huge fucking wins that are happening, and maybe we are reconfiguring a lot of things, fixing what the dirty deep state Democrats and the rhinos like McConnell and Cheney, McConnell, Cheney, Thune, the people running interference for the MAGA agenda for 10 years. Yeah, I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on some of the positives. Because if I don't, you're going to see black-pilled Brian. You're going to see bitter, angry, frustrated Brian. And that's just maybe not my best foot forward every day. Yeah, you're damn right Bernie was ripped off of his ticket. Seth Rich told WikiLeaks, and they fucking assassinated Seth Rich. Allegedly, for countervailing views on the fact that Seth Rich was totally just targeted in a completely random robbery on the streets of D.C. where nothing was stolen, despite the fact he had a valuable watch and money in his pocket. Go to CISA.gov/rumor control because Hillary Clinton and the DNC totally had nothing to do with the murder, the assassination of Seth Rich to send a message that we run the DNC and the people have no power here. Go to CISA.gov/rumor control. I made the point that the Democrats didn't just now get radical with Kami Mamdani and these democratic socialists. They've been radical for 25 years, but they keep tamping down the Bernie Sanders is. But one of the look, I told Michelle the other day, I came in real clean cut in about 2007 era, 06, 07, or as the kids say. The kids like to say, 6, 7. But look, the only way, I did let it slip once at a rally. I told the crowd, I said, look, you're just 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. If you're going to take over a nation, like I did, as a Manchurian candidate with my ties to, pick your poison, throw a dart. Like maybe they shoot darts in Kenya, maybe Indonesia, maybe the Little Red Schoolhouse on the West Coast, maybe Hawaii. But look, I don't have traditional American ideals, but, I stay slender, I can smile, and I can read a teleprompter. Look, and look, the thing is, my Marxist upbringing, I was able to kind of hide it behind a suit and a smile. We had a campaign of, look, I'm not going to get into the, the rigmarole or the gobbledygook of, policy. We're going to ram through Obamacare. And Pelosi will be out there saying, I can't wait to pass it to find out what's in it. We're not going to tell you what we're going to do, but we're going to make signs that say hope. Another type of sign that says change, because hopeity hope, changeity change. They're kind of interchangeable. They're sort of neutral. And, after 8 years of demonizing Bush, and by the way, there's actually plenty of reason to demonize Bush there. But look, wasn't everybody kind of ready for a change at that point? And so I got in as a Manchurian candidate, with Marxist leanings to fundamentally transform this nation and bring us down a few pegs. Once or twice we did get shellacked in those midterm votes. But look, what we did, we worked with the deep state to make sure that would never happen again. We got shellacked once, and that's when the voter fraud campaign kicked in. How many times, in the Trump era, Orange Man era. Look, there were supposed to be a couple of red waves. But look, we found a way, and I think tonight President Trump is going to lay out a case explaining exactly how we've been able to rig votes. It's not just machines. It's not just ballots. It's not just illegals. It's all of it. Full spectrum dominance. And, you can't just come out and go full socialist like Tropic Thunder. The Iron Man character guy tells the Ben Stiller guy, you can't go full retard in Simple Jack. That was a movie you did. Simple Jack. You played a retarded fella, retarded folk. You can't go full retard. You can't go full socialist. You can't go full communist. Now, hold on. Don't give me grief over that word. I'm just quoting Tropic Thunder. You got a problem with that? Take it up with the Jack Black or those people. But look, you gotta kind of be the wolf in sheep's clothing. Nobody's gonna really want a full-blown commie or a full-blown socialist or a democratic socialist. You can smear lipstick on a pig, but look, it's still Rashida Tlaib. I mean, yuck. She's gross inside and out. She's gross hypothetically, theoretically, legitimately, sexual, all those things. But look. And scene. I don't know. One of these days I'm just going to do, I'm telling you, one of these days I'm just going to do a full show as Obama. I'll probably wear my skinny suit. I've thought about doing more shows. I did one video. Did anyone ever see my one video? I did a YouTube short as Bobby Kennedy. I tried to keep it 60 seconds. I think I broke out a skinny tie, but I need to find a skinnier skinny tie. But yeah, Bernie was ripped off of his ticket. Where the hell was I?
This is global domination. Call it whatever you want. It's global domination. Okay.
And it's setting America up to be strong and self-reliant. That's what I want out of my leader. I don't want you fucking fighting with the Democrats. I want you getting things done. Make it so we can create our own medicine in this country. We can manufacture our own stuff. That we can sell our natural resources. We can be self-sufficient, independent. And if we have excess, we can sell it on the global market. And we're not going to be taken advantage of or abused. And we're going to stop the human trafficking. We're going to stop people sneaking into the country. All of it, all of it, all of it. I'm trying to remain hopeful. It's not easy. But
Here's Iran.
Folks. I'm trying.
Please help.
Oh, shit. Did you see this story? A World Series of Poker player. This is in Las Vegas. What would you do if this was you're at home and this is what happens on your Ring camera? What the heck?
Please help me. Someone just broke into the house across the street and fucking robbed me. They took my phone. They took everything I had. They tied me up. I just got out. Can you call 911? If you're there, please. Please help me.
That's video obtained by News 3 appearing to show the moment World Series of Poker player Jared Greiner escaped and alerted a neighbor that he was violently robbed.
I love the female news reporter voice. There's something really fun about that cadence. In some ways, it's a little similar, maybe eerily similar to that of Barry Soetoro. Barack Hussein Obama.
Hi, I'm Kristen Drummond with News 3.
Hi, I'm Barack Obama with News 3.
Greiner posting this week on social media about this ambush that he says happened inside his Airbnb and how two men stole his tournament winnings. He didn't disclose the amount, but the World Series of Poker website shows he earned more than $57,000 just from the main event. Now, Greiner says robbers accessed the house and hogtied him with duct tape during the crime. Jeez. How the thieves got in, well, that remains a mystery. But Greiner says the intruders knew the code to his rental and were waiting for him. He suspects being tracked after he collected his winnings. Metro Police confirmed.
TNAM preparedness. Be careful out there. Be very careful out there.
With News 3, they are investigating a
Ortho, where's your catchphrase? This would be good. Never enter your home without your club. Oh, there's a tweak to it today.
reported robbery, but no arrest at this
Never enter your rental home without your club.
time. I also contacted Airbnb. A spokesperson tells me that they are aware of the incident and ready to support the investigation, and added that Griner has not yet opened a claim with Airbnb's host liability insurance for his stolen items, but that they have provided him with a partial refund for his reservation.
A partial refund. People enter your home knowing the code that you didn't change or you're in on, and they're going to offer you a partial refund. They didn't break through the window. They had the code. I'm very curious to see how the rest of this story plays out. This is like Ocean's 15. Patriot Warrior on Rumble goes, I love Angry Brian. He says the exact same things I say. But look, Patriot Warrior, and I do that intentionally as Obama, because, when I'm off script, when I'm not reading that teleprompter that Soros or his lackeys put up there for me to read, when I go off script, did you ever see Key and Peele? Kind of like Timu Chappelle Show, except look, it does stand on its own. It's pretty funny. Kind of like Mad TV was a Timu version of SNL. Some of that Mad TV stuff was even funnier than SNL during that era. Don't forget. But look, Angry Brian, you gotta kind of temper the things you're saying. You start dropping those cuss words and such, and maybe you gotta stay tempered. Got to kind of keep it restrained. You don't want to let the sheep see that you're a wolf inside. Save some of that. I'm Tim Burchett. Never go to a Motel 6 without the light on. No, but this is the comment I was specifically laughing at. Patriot Warrior Texas says, the people that broke in to steal the World Series of Poker money from this guy at the Airbnb in Las Vegas, did it happen during a snowstorm, and were they wearing red caps? Jesse Smollier. Never cave into club drink limits. There we go. Always carry in your cave. Stay packing and get clapping. You never leave your cave without your club. Never enter your cave without your club. J.D. Vance told the story that his grandmother, they don't build them like her anymore. When she passed, they found 19 loaded guns around the house. There's some rookie numbers, yo. Better have them everywhere. Billy the Kid, never get caught without your pants down. I saw that in Young Guns. Anyway, I am super interested in learning more about this story. Now, Blake would probably be like, why are you talking about poker and the Airbnb story? I want to talk about Tyler Robinson in Israel. I want to talk about, I don't. Let it play out. It's a court case. They haven't turned over all their cards yet. The case isn't even good. They're not going to rule on it till September. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm listening to people give both sides. I want to talk about eggs and how you should do pasture eggs, not cage free. There's different variations of eggs. Pasture raised is the one you want. I had like 4 or 5 stories that involved eggs yesterday, including a Rocky. Do you have any interest in seeing the new Rocky movie? I think it's called like The Making of Rocky. And it shows the whole story of what Stallone went through to get the movie made. Look, it looks interesting. I'd be interested in watching it. But in that, he cracks raw eggs and he drinks raw eggs. I'm like, oh my God, I've done like 9 stories on eggs today. And Blake was like, but what about Tyler Robinson? And I'm like, it's okay. Calm down, buddy. And a lot of people liked hearing from Blake. I haven't had Blake on the show in a couple of years. So yeah, that was good. But I have to balance. How I stay sane covering this shit every day. But this story, no, it's not the Strait of Hormuz. It's not Gaza. It's not Ukraine. I know these are huge stories. It's not Tyler Robinson, but I'm super interested in it. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to cover it. And I bet you there may be more to that story.
Please help me.
I mean, I would be worried that someone saying, please help me at the door with duct tape around his wrist would be George Floyd waiting for me to open the door and go, I got you. Get in here. Give me all you got, or I'll take your life and the life of your kid. It would feel like a setup. God, what was I watching? Fallout? Is anyone, tell me in chat, have any of you, I'm trying to, got the screen mirrored. Did you watch the Amazon series Fallout based on the video game? And that happened in American Primeval. Maybe that was on Amazon Prime that I was watching. You get lured into an area, you know, a crying baby or something, or a woman in distress, but they're the bait. You're at a nightclub, you're talking to somebody, some handsome young man or some gorgeous young lady. They go, hey, let me get a round of drinks. And they put something in it, or they want to get you nice and sauced. And then, hey, let's go back to my place. And then they rob you, or you wake up in a bathtub and what is it? Your spleen or your liver has been cut out with a note. You have 5 minutes to live. Call the police. It's bait. What was the whole Epstein story about? Hey, don't you want to come? Don't we all? Look, we built a playground. Come on down and get off it all sorts of ways. Guys, girls, multiple guys, guys and girls, and kids. And maybe they didn't advertise it as kids, but maybe, you know, it's like exposure therapy. You're scared of snakes or something. So you read the letter snake. And then you see a picture of a Lego snake. And then you're exposed to a stuffed animal snake. And then you see a snake on a video screen. And then they bring something in person. You hold a fake snake made of Legos. Then you hold a plush snake. And then there's a snake in a terrarium. And then you get closer to the snake in the terrarium. And you're repeatedly assured, this is a garden snake. I will lift up the garden snake 100 times and show you. 100 times in a row, nothing bad happens to me. I don't get bit. It's okay. Exposure therapy. Come down there for the professional hookers, and then maybe they sneak a few underage ones in, and they sort of just, I didn't know. I thought they were all consenting adults. I thought this was after hours at a strip club or something, or, you know, some, you know, fancy event or whatever. It's like, hey, everybody's getting laid. We're all having fun. And by the way, it's all being recorded and it'll get used against you. Maybe not in a court of law, but it'll wreck your marriage and it'll get you thrown out of office. And you're going to do what I say when I say, or else your life is destroyed because we got you. We hooked you in the spider web. That's the Epstein story. J.D. Vance talking with Joe Rogan yesterday about it. You know, Anomaly put the post out, and he was just like, J.D. looks pretty uncomfortable here, talking about how Epstein was a dual agent, a Mossad agent, a CIA agent, a double agent, a triple agent, a whatever it was, tricking people. So if this guy came to my door with looking like Jussie Smollett, going, look, I still have the rope around my neck, guys, for real. I was at a Subway and at 3 a.m. in a blizzard. And these massive Nigerians in MAGA hats came over, and they really roughed me up. I'd go, yeah, buddy. Not opening the door. I'm armed. I have called the police. Hang tight if you want, but I'm not letting you in. If you do anything stupid, I'm blasting. That would be my reaction if this dude showed up on my door. There's a snake in my boot. Ortho, does anyone still answer their door without a weapon? First, you'd probably have to answer the door. That's something I don't really do.
Population.
I mean, I do. I'm just kidding. But yeah, you should be armed. 2 posts from Tim Pool in a day? What does the world come to? But this is important. People aren't having kids. And that's been probably one of the top reasons why the powers that be wanted to flood America with military-aged men, Trojan horses, Manchurian candidates, sleeper cell armies. Maybe they're not malicious. Maybe it's just because we don't have a working force of 18 to 50-year-old men to just pay into the system so the boomers can retire high on the hog. We set up this Social Security scam, this Ponzi scheme, And there's not enough young people paying into it, and we're all retiring. We need all these expensive healthcare things. So we need more workers. So just flood the nation with 20-year-old people from Uganda, from Syria, from Gaza. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? From Guatemala, from Honduras, from Ecuador, from Peru. What could go wrong? Yeah, we're not having kids, and it's a problem. And I do really credit Elon. Was probably the first person many years ago who really started bringing it to my attention. I go, but my whole life in class, I was told the Earth's overpopulated. We're overpopulated. Every teacher, every piece of propaganda on television and movies said we're overpopulated. We're overpopulated. We're overpopulated. Georgia Guidestones, we're overpopulated. We need to keep Earth's population under 500,000. We're overpopulated. We're overpopulated. No, we're underpopulated. And we're not even at replacement rate. It's a problem.
Population collapse is coming, and we're starting to see the results of this. We're at what's called peak 18-year-old. Indeed, if you're watching this video and you're 18, I feel bad for you. And I really mean that. Why? It used to be that there were always more young people than the older generation before it because population was growing. We're now at a point where there are less young people every generation. And, you know, when we had millennials, we had Gen Z, it was stable. But now with Gen Alpha, it is shrinking. And Generation Bravo.
There was shrinkage, Jerry. What? It shrinks? Like a frightened turtle.
Is expected to be substantially less. So what they mean by peak 18-year-old, it's that there is only going to be less 18-year-olds moving forward because there are very few young people. Universities will start to go out of business. Certain stores are going to start closing, and there is going to be an economic, reckoning, we'll call it that, because it's not as easy to just say there will be a recession. And I've talked about the economics of population collapse quite a bit. But with what we're currently seeing as it pertains to TPS expiring, Trump now having the right to remove many of these people, there's a question of what happens to an economy when you do not have the workers to expand it. This was the Democrat strategy, and it's why we get stories like this. Trust me, it is all connected.
It's not just rigging elections. It's about pumping the country full of replacement people. Because you know what? You idiots have been pushing abortion for everybody. Celebrate your abortions. Scream from the rooftops how awesome abortions are. No accountability, no families. Families are bad. Christians are bad. Christian family strategies are bad. You've pushed this on us. Population, we're overpopulated. Oh, there's going to be a coming ice age. Oh, there's going to be global warming. Oh, the earth is destroying itself. You can't bring a kid into this universe. And any kid you do have, make sure you kill it before it becomes a kid. That's what the Democrats have been pushing this whole time, decade after decade after decade after decade. And shockingly, now we don't have kids. The whole, you don't need no man mentality. The whole Lyndon Baines Johnson thing of making sure that single mothers are going to make more money that if they don't have a father figure in the household. And then when kids grow up without authority figures, they turn into miscreants. They turn into demons. My God, have we been on the wrong track for a while. So forgive me if I cut Trump a little bit of slack while I see a lot of important common sense things being fixed. I don't know how anybody could correct all this stuff, especially when his whole first term was stolen from him on the fake impeachments and all that bullshit. Anyway, I digress. Whoa, where'd I go?
Population collapse.
Tom Renz says, as if the flock camera nightmare isn't bad enough, now Cape Coral is looking at using AI-powered spy cams on dump trucks to find reasons to fine people. How much abuse at the hands of this crooked government are we going to tolerate before people wake up? We aren't draining the swamp, we're filling it up and backstroking across it. Look at this. They're looking for code violations, high grass, unpermitted renovations, and more to issue fines and take people. Look at this. I mean, it's an artist rendering. I'm getting sick of being spied on. I want to be left alone. You're damn right. I feel like I got the right to be left alone. I liked what Ortho said. He goes out the back door and flanks them around the front. Oh, yeah. I love that move. Never let them see you coming. And then lock the door before you go out. Like, if you're forced back in, you can cause, like, an interesting choke point. People trying to, like, anyway, I'm not going to get into self-defense strategies too much, but, yeah, flank them. Your municipality already does this? You have cameras on trash trucks, really? I haven't heard of that yet. I saw California, they're doing trash picking now.
When they said,
and of course, the Democrats have one strategy. It's to cry racism every time they don't get their way or every time they sense a potential vulnerability that could splinter the Republican Party and siphon off votes to their just absolutely destructive domestic terrorist organization masquerading as a political party, the Democrats. But here's this Assemblyman, Isaac Bryan, Democrat from California, but I repeat myself, claims ICE lied about these things. ICE did not lie, says Katie Zachariah. Take a watch to this on CNN.
They said Renee Good tried to hit folks with their car. This is an agency that has had zero accountability. They've spent $100 billion terrorizing folks.
Terrorizing folks or removing the illegal aliens? I'm losing my patience for people that are intentionally distorting what's happening here. And I got a friend that's doing it. No, not Blake. I mentioned him earlier. It gets pretty frustrating. Sorry, I'm not going to replay that whole conversation with that person. But they use some of the same language as, oh, they're terrorizing Americans. They're doing the job. They're cleaning up the mess. Don't blame the mold remediation company for the flood damage that they didn't cause. Sorry, Democrats. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on with that crap.
Buying masks, buying unidentified.
And yes, I think a lot of libertarians are Democrats, and you need to take the mask off already.
Cars, hiding who they are instead of moving with transparency. We haven't had any prosecutions of.
Instead of moving with transparency so we can dox you like Amy Coney Barrett, ruin your life and make sure you're not able to work your job. Fuck you, you domestic terrorist.
Any of the ICE agents who have killed American citizens. It's shameful. It's on purpose. And
no, what's on purpose is you and the Democrats riling people up so you can try to get your new St. George Floyd martyr. But you're not finding it because the people that you are martyring in the streets, Renee Good, Jacob Preddy, these are not sympathetic cases. They're doing these dumbass actions to themselves. There's no reason that woman in that minivan should have been in the middle of that street blocking that and her mouthy girlfriend talking shit to those ICE agents and we're in charge and gunning your vehicle and hitting an ICE agent getting shot. That's on you, dumbass. Completely avoidable had you not tried to play superhero after getting egged on by the Democrats who don't give a shit about you. They want martyrs. They want bodies in the streets. Remember when Cuomo was accused of putting sick COVID patients in with the elderly because they're the most immunocompromised, the most likely to expire from that? So you could bump up the numbers. You got rookie numbers on the CNN crawl. We got to hurry up and get more numbers to lock the world down so we can remove Trump. Remember that? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Fuck you, Isaac Bryan.
Trump administration's covering for him.
You were the spokesperson for DHS for a short time. I mean, that's a lot what he just said. How do you respond to that?
Well, the ICE agent involved in the Renee Good situation was hit by her car.
Yeah, hit by her car, dumbass.
Wasn't a lie. He was hospitalized. The information came out 7 days after that he was hospitalized for internal bleeding from Renee Good hitting him with her car. That was evidenced again on corroborating video footage, plus hospitalization, plus internal bleeding and damages to him. So that's not a lie. And when we're dealing with situations like this, again, you look at the 7-day window it took to release the information that the officer had been hospitalized after being hit by Renee Good's car. We're only a few days into this investigation. It's ongoing. And to the point of body cams, President Trump has been supportive of it. Secretary Noam, of which I can speak to, had earmarked in Congress, earmarked $20 million for those body cams. Tom Homan has been supportive of them. Greg Bavino was supportive of them. And I think there's overall a support of body cams.
When they said Renee Good tried to hit folks with their car. This is
this guy, Isaac Bryan. I hate this guy already. What's up, Blue Jay? I don't remember you being here. Where are you watching us from? You said you're in British Columbia. Jeez. I lovingly call Canada Canada. And I was like, British Canada? All right. Man, Canadians are finding some peace here at the New American Media. Happy to have you. Please, everybody, invite your friends, share the show link, hit the thumbs up button, however you're watching, and consider becoming a monthly sponsor on Patreon, Rumble, or YouTube for as little as $5 a month, or you can go up to like 15 a month, 100 a month, or 1,000 a month. It only takes a couple of you to really make a difference. It all adds up. Every platform, we get a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. Maybe big chunks here and there. Like, it all is needed and it's all appreciated. You know, I haven't gone the advertiser route to sell you pillows and coffee and solar panels yet. I've just been trying it this way. Now, I'm not against doing ad reads, but the only ad reads I do are to ask you to consider signing up to be a monthly sponsor. Or if you want to do a one-time, throw a couple silver coins into our tip jar back there. Rumble rant tip, super chat tip, Venmo and Cash App is my name, Brian Engelman. And PayPal is fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com. That's the email address. That's all scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Blue Jay likes ice. Canada needs ice. I love our brothers to the north. And I want to see our brothers to the north restore yourselves. You are in a world of hurt. You're in a bad spot. America was in a bad spot after 4 years of Biden. But man, I'm praying for you guys up in Canada. Happy to have you. Do you have another name that you go by, Blue Jay? I like to know where people, British Columbia. Where's British Columbia on the, I know Ontario. I got Vancouver. I'm not in front of my map, so I'm trying to like remember where BC is. Is that far east? I could look it up, but I'm not going to. Oh yeah, India is literally taking over Canada. I was in Vancouver and went, the fuck is this? Indians, Pakistanis, this and that and the other. And I'm going, this is Canada? Why is this Canada? What is happening here? It was very eye-opening. It was very eye-opening.
When they said Renee Good.
There are thousands of.
Okay, here's a 3-minute report. I'm not going to play, but the claim is that every line represents a vote that was stolen from Trump in 2020. Red lines are all from China. It's showing a 3.5-minute clip. I'm not going to play it, but there are a lot of theories that tonight foreign election interference will be addressed in today's address to the nation speech. I'm sorry, addressed is not good enough. I don't want investigations. I don't want findings. I don't want reports. I want fucking indictments. Arrest the people for treason. If you have the goods, arrest them. Otherwise, I'm like starting to, I don't know. It would be hard to become more disappointed than I am right now that we're a year and a half in without any major arrests or indictments. I was once bitten by a Briton. Hey, governor. Fancy a bite, would you?
There are thousands of pages.
Anyway, there's going to be lots of stories coming out about this election. We'll see what comes up in the speech. Tune in live. I'm going to try to stream it. Mike Bear invited me to join his program. And I think I can stream to a couple of my channels. So if I can do YouTube, I'll do YouTube. If I can do Rumble, I'll do Rumble. I don't know if I can on Rumble. Maybe I can on X. We'll see. But yeah, try to stay tuned with that one, please. All right, what do you think about daylight savings time? They're trying to like make permanent daylight savings time, and they're showing how late winter sunrises would be under the permanent daylight savings time. 8:09 a.m. and then 8:58 a.m. over here. Today Days Old says, everyone loves this idea until they're driving to work in complete darkness at 9 a.m. in December. I'm sort of just I don't mind rolling clocks back, rolling them ahead. Like most of it's digital, it just does it automatically. And it's another mile marker. Someone asked me like, wait a minute, is your alarm going off? Why is your alarm going off? And I'm like, yeah, it goes off at 6 and at 7 and at 8 and at 9. It keeps my morning on track to go, hey, whatever project you're working on, remember, you have a rest of the day to get to. You've had an hour at that. Do you want to spend your next hour staying on this or recalibrate? I don't mind twice a year going, all right, it's been half a year. Woo, it's cold and dark. Woo, it's sunny and warm. This is great. And I don't mind it. Yeah, I like gaining an hour, losing an hour. I'm just used to it. I don't want to change it. I oppose changing it. Yeah, Democrat Senator, the Save America Act would make it hard for Democrats to win. What an odd thing to say. Yeah, Daily Wire liked our post. I'm sure Blake and Danette are thrilled about that. What is this? Raven Harrison for Congress. Leftists are crying that people who need benefits are going to lose them. Hey, did you know 61% of illegal alien households are currently on welfare? Why are they able to use these systems to begin with? U.S.-born households on welfare, 37%. Illegal immigrants are 61%. But we were told they don't get assistance and welfare. Daylight saving time, we want go home. Me say, oh. Daylight come on, me want go home. Tom Wren says, Flock CEO calling people that don't, okay, and I can't read it underneath these. Flock CEO calling people that don't want 24/7 government surveillance terrorists. Fuck you, Flock CEO. I have an idea, says Tom Wren. Let's put a public live feed camera outside of his house and let's make sure we have drones and camera systems following him around. Or better, why doesn't he make his cell phone data available to the public for 24/7 monitoring of his location and who's with him in a car? I'm guessing the scrawny 12-year-old nerd lecturing us on not wanting to be surveilled won't want to share his data publicly, so why would we want to be forced to do that ourselves? I want to short sell the Flock company. The more people hear about Flock, the less they want them. That's what I think.
You've got organizations like the ACLU and the EFF who take an above-board approach to fight for their point of view. And thankfully, we live in a beautifully democratic, capitalistic country where...
Yeah, it's not beautifully it's not beautifully democratic if you're blatantly violating our Fourth Amendment. Shut up. Sit down. Go away. Yeah, I want to short sell Flock. There's no way this can stay. MAGA Comeback has their theory on what happened to Charlie. Is that a real picture of a crying Tyler Robinson? Has he showed emotion? I admit I don't. MAGA Comeback says Charlie Kirk was murdered by a man allegedly trying to impress his boyfriend. That same boyfriend later called him a moron, detransitioned, and proved Charlie's point about fringe gender ideology. Charlie won the argument, and now it's time to win in court. Tell me in chat, is this your understanding of what happened in the trial? Or do you believe the 17 conspiracy theories debunking every major component of the state case? Do you agree that this is what this case is about? Some dope named Tyler Robinson trying to impress his furry boyfriend. Did the guy detransition? Did he call him a moron? I don't know. But do you agree or disagree with this statement here? Tell me in chat. I mean, maybe it's a little more straightforward. What is this? Finance Bro Fred says, in the last 24 hours, OpenAI had their head of safety quit, sued by the New York Times, top exec unexpectedly departs, shuts down browser tool after 9 months, sued for trade theft by Apple, caught selling product to China against sanctions. Oh, maybe that's a good company to short sell. OpenAI? I don't know. I don't know who Finance Bro Fred is, but Apple sues OpenAI for allegedly stealing trade secrets. Yeah, Scam Altman. I know Elon's going scorched earth against Scam Altman. He says he takes scamming to a whole new level. We start flying them next year. Short-term space data centers. Maybe you can come see them if your parole officer improves. Holy shit. That is, oh my God. Homeboy, you're the one selling public market investors on short-term space data centers. Yeah. We start flying them next year. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can come see them if your parole officer approves. After stealing an open source AI charity, you then stole all of Apple's phone technology. Wow. What do you plan for an encore? That's tough to beat. Maybe you can come see them if your parole officer approves. That's great. Musk was right all along. Apple sues OpenAI for stealing trade secrets. Musk versus Altman over on X. I just hope both teams lose. That's not exactly my point. I saw a comment from the newbie. Not sure who the newbie is. Blue Jay. What are your thoughts on American Republicans? Let me take it piece by piece. What are my thoughts on What are my thoughts on America? Best country ever. Millions of problems. Trying to make tomorrow better than it is today. What are my thoughts on American Republicans? I don't like the American Republican Party much at all. I think most of them are rhinos, Republican in name only. I think most of them are two wings of the same dirty bird with the deep state Democrats, the globalists who are selling us out, stealing everything not nailed down like a bunch of meth heads stripping copper out of an abandoned house. So I don't like American Republicans in general. I think MAGA is a really good, maybe the best movement I've seen in my lifetime, says the guy who just drank a bunch of fiber. Best movement I've seen in my lifetime. Heyo. Blake kept talking about MAGA versus MEGA. Blake can't stand that America has an ally in the nation state of Israel. Blake seems to hate that a lot. I don't know if that means that makes you automatically pro-Palestine, pro-Muslim, pro-Islamic supremacist, because Islamic supremacists have been on campaigns of terror since the whole ideology was created, an ideology that's often referred to as a political ideology masquerading as a religion. Whether you agree or disagree with that or not, the terrorism, the threats, the beheadings, the murders, the bombings, the warfare, the domination, it spread and spread and spread until the Christian Crusades pushed that shit back all those years ago. And you see an Islamic invasion in many countries today, all across Europe. Dearborn, Michigan, New York with Kami Mamdani. A lot of people think Obama. Across Texas, trying to build Islamic Sharia cities. On the Israel topic, is it Israeli supremacists versus Islamic supremacists? Must I pick a team if the Red Sox are playing the Yankees? Must I pick a team? Must I root for a side if it's the Baltimore Ravens playing the Pittsburgh Steelers? I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm a Cleveland Indians fan. And they stole my Cleveland Indians and turned them into the Cleveland Guardians, which sucks. Who do I prefer, Tucker or Shapiro? I think a couple of years ago, Shapiro was better, and I think a couple of years ago, Tucker was better. I think I can hold both of those positions. I don't want to be painted into a corner and say, tell me, do you like the Red Sox or the Yankees? I can say, fuck you, I'm a Cleveland Indians fan. And because of George Floyd, they took my Cleveland Indians away and gave me the Cleveland Guardians. Yours says Blue Jays or Blue Jay. Are you a Toronto Blue Jays fan? I don't know. Yeah, I think they were both better a couple of years ago. I'm not a super fan of either side of Tucker Ben. I'm not a super Candace fan. I wasn't 5-10 years ago. I'm not today. They do their thing. It's, I've seen them all do some good stuff. So, I mean, am I exactly saying I just hope both teams lose, the Islamic supremacists and the Israeli supremacists? I'm Christian. I don't play for either of those teams, and I don't want either of those teams forcing their shit on me. I'm not trying to conquer their land and convert them. I think spreading the holy gospel, it's obviously beneficial and in my heart of hearts superior. It's what I've chosen multiple times throughout my life. There was the indoctrinated phase, I was taught to be this way, and then I came back to it after coming, and I came back to it again, and then I came back to it again, and I came back to it again. And I do notice that many demons and demonic forces hate Jesus Christ, the Son of God. They loathe the Son of God. That could be Islamic supremacists or Israeli supremacists, Jewish supremacists. I don't care what they do if they keep it to themselves. It's sort of like don't ask, don't tell. But sure as shit, don't come in here and try to force me to root for your favorite team. I don't care about your team. Why am I supposed to care about your team? Well, because the Bible says those who bless Israel will be blessed. Doesn't mean I need to engage in the politics post 1947. It doesn't mean I need to engage in that. No. What did Mo Sislak say? I wish him well, insofar as I don't wish him any particular harm. I don't wish him any particular harm. I'll wish him well in that regard, but I don't know. Who's your favorite hockey team? I don't have one. I mean, I guess the Columbus Blue Jackets, but I've never been to a game. I've been to more LA Kings games. I don't really care that much about hockey or soccer. So how do I feel? Do you like this World Cup? Do you like Argentina or Spain? I don't really care. I don't care about any of them, really. So, yeah, still America first. Yeah, I'm America first. That's what I am.
I'm not skeptical.
This is the clip I played yesterday about Rogan talking with Vice President Vance about the fraud in California, that they stole the election from Spencer Pratt.
I'm not skeptical. I'm accusing them. I think they stole the election.
Yes.
And yes. I think it's common. And this idea that elections can't be stolen. I always say to people, okay, do you think that the amount of election fraud is 0%? No one thinks that.
Yeah.
No one thinks it's zero.
Exactly.
There's always some overzealous person that works somewhere that's doing something. There's always crazy people that like blue no matter who, we got to win, or red no matter what. There's always people, right and left, that are going to try to rig the election because they think it's imperative. Look, we saw there was people like Oprah Winfrey was saying it. Like, if we don't win this election, you may never vote again. Like, What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, actually, if you let MAGA back in and they expose all of your cheating, Democrats will never win again. They're polling at 17 to 19% approval rating. Nobody likes you. Everybody hates you. I guess you'll go eat worms.
Why? Who's going to tolerate that? Left or right? That's crazy.
That's right.
But that attitude allows people to justify cheating.
Correct.
And I think they cheat. And I think they've been doing it forever. And I don't think there's any other reason why you would have no voter ID. And they try to say, oh, it's racist to have voter ID. Like, what are you talking about? Do you think other races are incapable of going to the DMV? That's insane.
Yeah, that's racist. It's actually super racist.
That's really racist.
The implication of their argument is literally like blacks and Hispanics cannot go to the DMV to get an ID. By the way, if you look at the polling, black Americans are as pro-voter ID. Even though most black Americans vote Democrat, they're still pro-voter ID as much as white Americans.
If you don't think voter fraud is happening nation.
Sorry, 50. I don't care about your opinion. I just want to play that clip. Nothing personal.
I'm not skeptical.
Go up here. This guy puts out Break the Chains Media. Mark Cook shows people how easy it is to flip and change elections using their own software. Take a look at that. I'm not going to play it right now.
Covered up, or now.
Alex Jones saying the Charlie Kirk assassination story doesn't add up. 3-minute clip. I'm not going to play it now, but take a look. It's on our Instagram feed. We shared it 6 hours ago, and these stories disappear after 24 hours. So everybody, please go to the New American Media Instagram page. Blue Jay, how did you find us today? Have you been here before? Are you subscribed to our page? Have you hit the notification bell on YouTube? Are you aware that we have a podcast where all of our shows go called The Agree to Disagree Show? Can you follow us on Spotify and Apple? The Agree to Disagree Show podcast. This goes for everybody listening. Are you following us, Blue Jay, on X at American_media_? Please do if you haven't. But yeah, these stories are all there for another 18 hours. I just can't get to them all today. Representative Anna Paulina Luna says, what is great about what the House is now doing with the Save America Act is Thune will have to make a call. Is he personally going to gut the Save America Act from every bill the House sends to the Senate? It will be at his direction, and everyone is watching. And the New American Media is just saying we need to just replace Thune. He brings less than zero value. Thune is negative value.
I'm going to give a medical exam.
This woman was awesome, calling out the school board about vaccines and trying to force people to insert things into their bodies. Yeah, that's like hashtag me too. And it's got too much music here. I can't play it, but you should watch it. This lady was awesome. Paul Sperry is reporting the really big news President Trump plans to announce in Thursday's primetime address, according to an administration source who's read a draft of his speech, includes bombshell evidence China interfered in the 2020 election to help Joe Biden win, including hacking into state voter registration databases, stealing information on tens of thousands of voters, ostensibly to manufacture mail-in ballots for Biden. We've been saying this for 6 years. The evidence, which details alarming vulnerabilities of election infrastructure, is based on 4 sets of declassified documents set for release on Friday, which were recently unearthed from the suppressed FBI, CIA, DNI records, according to the well-placed source. The intelligence had been buried in a massive cover-up of Beijing's hacking capabilities and influence operations aimed at supporting Biden. Other vulnerabilities compromising the United States election system, according to the draft of the president's speech, include the existence of more than 100,000 non-citizens, including illegal immigrants on voter rolls. So, from the rumor mill to your ears, maybe. We shall see. Tune in live. Mike Barrett asked me to join him, and I will try to stream. I think I can stream. I hope I can stream through our sources on YouTube and X at least. Oh yeah, forced vaccine should absolutely be considered grape soda. Absolutely. You're forced to put something inside you that you don't want to. I didn't like that I was forced to take a swab to get back on a plane to come back from somewhere. God knows what they could have put inside of my nostril, jamming that thing up there. I'm asymptomatic. I'm fine. Well, we can't have it spread. Why? If y'all are vaccinated and it all works so good, you've got your spacesuit on. You can breathe fine. Doesn't matter if I've got my oxygen mask on. You can breathe fine. Don't fucking worry about me. Blah. Yeah, bodily autonomy is a Fourth Amendment. It's all of our amendments, right? All right, that's interesting. Blue Jay says, I just subbed and liked, man. I don't have social media, though. All right, well, thanks for following us there. We got, 2,400 videos over 15 years and millions of views on our YouTube channel, despite massive suppression and censorship campaigns against us to throttle the views that we're supposed to be getting. Please peruse through there. All right. So we'll see if that's what happens on tonight's speech. And you know what? We've gone long today. I have more stories to get to, but I got to call it. Thank you all for being here on the TNAM Daily Show. Final call. I'm clocking out. I got to tally up my register here and everything. Here's your tab here for joining us lunchtime in the bar for a few hours. If you look at the tab, it says $0 and free cents. There's a tip line at the bottom, though. If you want to consider becoming a monthly sponsor, Patreon, Rumble, and YouTube for as little as $5 a month, you click it once, and every 30, 31 days, it'll just bill $5, $15, $100, $1,000 to our account. And then we take that money and we pay the bills to keep the lights on here in this bar. We pay the staff, we pay the bills, pay the rent on the property, the property taxes, the sewer infrastructure. We got a special assessment on that. We got to pay the landscaper to keep things clean and tidy outside. Yes, it's like, oh, what expenses do you have running a bar? Well, there's a bunch with anything. So please consider subscribing to us in all of those platforms. And by the way, we have a free Patreon. If you're not going to sign up for the paid one, at least sign up for the free one. Because if the world goes to shit and everybody censors us from all the channels, we'll still post on Patreon. If you want to do a one-time tip, right there, you can throw some silver coins into the tip jar. Rumble rant tip, super chat tip on YouTube. Or you can send something over. Always appreciate it on Venmo or Cash App. That's my name, Brian Engelman, scrolling at the bottom. Or fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com on PayPal. Danette finally got the mug. Are you rocking it? Are you drinking from the mug now? Yeah, if anyone wants a mug, shoot me $40 on Venmo along with your address. That includes like $12 shipping and handling. So it's like a $28 mug. And it's a fundraiser. John made a batch of these. It's a limited batch. When they're gone, they're gone. I drink my coffee out of it on almost every show. It's a way to support the program. And like I said, if you want some coasters, shoot me a Venmo. $25 for one set of 4. They're Ohio-made wooden coasters for my sports show, The Unhappy Hour. $25 for one 4-pack. $50 for 2 4-packs, Ohio-made wooden coasters, and $25 for the pin. You want all 3 of them? $75 includes shipping. It'll get to your door. Shoot me a Venmo with your address. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here. Stay tuned. Yes, hit the thumbs up. Absolutely. Share the show with your friends. Share it on X. Share it in a group on Facebook. Share it to a couple of your friends. Shoot a direct message and go, hey, this is a pretty good show. We have a good time here. Help us. Go be evangelists. If you don't want to go sell the word of God to the masses, John 3:16, for he so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. And your way to heaven is to believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for your sins and you welcome him into your heart and you ask for redeeming life. If you don't want to be an evangelist in that regard, be an evangelist for TNAM. Just tell a friend. You know, your support of the show is not just financial, it's word of mouth. Invite some people into the bar tomorrow. The more people in the bar, the more numbers we can do, the more people we can hire, the more we can get this word out. We are spreading a methodology of unpack. I think there's a lot of philosophy in this show. I try to bring introspection, not just ranting and not just hard news, but it's trying to make sense of where it all fits in the grand scheme of things, because there's a lot going on. And like Toole said, I know the pieces fit. I know the pieces fit because I watched them fall away. So, yeah. That's how we do it. Oh, wait, hold on. What? Wait, let me check something. You're saying, what did you send? Danette, did you just do something? Let me check something here. Do I have, hold on. Let me look. I don't see an alert. Oh, this did just happen. Okay, hold on. Where am I? Me. Hold on. Oh, something just happened, I think. Where do I, hold on. Why can't I see, where do I see this? Where's my account? Why can't I see home? Hold on, I'm on the app and I'm clicking. It's very wonky, but I think Danette just made a donation. Where the hell do I find this? That's a weird way to do it. Danette, what do you want? Do you want coasters? Do you want the, are you saying I need to send it? What do you want me to send? Kenneth says, hey, someone match me. Kenneth dropped $15 into the tip jar today. I appreciate you, brother, always. Absolutely. I'm trying to scroll through the comments here. Yeah, I did not get an alert on my phone. But now I see it. I had to click over to see July 16, a $30 Venmo. Look at that. Did you include, let me click on it. TNAM mug. More details. Ooh, in the details, I need your address. I don't want you to put your address in chat up here. Let me see if you include. I click on details. Okay, Danette, you could shoot me an email, brian@thenewamericanmedia.com with your address. And I will get you a mug. I know John has done a discount offer on the mugs if you order through Rumble. Because the mugs are 40, you sent 30, but John's like, I'll do it for 20. Whatever, we're meeting in the middle, I'm sending you a mug. It's sort of like a name your own price. It's a donation. It's a donation. And doggone it, you're going to get a mug. Thank you for sticking with us. I know you agree on some things more than you agree on others, but we're here to have a good conversation. And I know that we're providing value if we get your support, and it's appreciated. It's needed. And it's so appreciated. I absolutely love it. Just triple checking that I don't have your address in here. Can you shoot me a email? Brian@thenewamericanmedia, please. Wait, email is too much? Wait, what? Oh, I'll Facebook message you on, God, I'm on so many platforms. I have platform fatigue. Speaking of fatigue, I did not show you the story of the 6 black youths beating up on an old white guy outside the 7-Eleven in Baltimore. Speaking of racist fatigue, I digress. I guess you'll send a Facebook message to the New American Media page. Everybody go follow the New American Media on Facebook too. I don't really advertise it much, but it's there. I don't really log in that much. But I know our shows stream to there. But hey, thank you for that. That's awesome. Yes, I know the pieces fit. Tool. Indeed. Okay, I'm going to make it happen. When can I get this out? God, because I'm doing a double show again today, and I got to get Ben to the vet. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to make business day today, especially since I was looking for smaller boxes, and they're inside bigger boxes, and I need to open up bigger boxes to find the smaller boxes at this moment. So I will try to get this mailed out to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for your support. That's awesome. So the mugs, they're limited edition. If you want one, shoot me a Venmo along with your address. Tell me what you want, and we'll mail them out to you. Anyway, hey, Blue Jays, this is the first time seeing the intro, outro to the TNAM Daily Show, Agree to Disagree show. If so, I hope you enjoy it because we're going to, I'll have Jamie send it. Jamie, get on that. Will do, boss. Yeah, Blue Jay tuning in for his first show today. He typed in UFC, and our show came up as a UFC feed. I don't know that we've never streamed a UFC event. That's for sure. Free bubble wrap too? Bubble wrap ain't cheap. I repurpose my packaging. Actually, I think on this one I do bubble wrap, and then I use what do they call it? Void padding. Actually, I reuse all sorts of different packaging materials. We'll see if we get bubble wrap, but it ain't free. I digress. But Blue Jay, if you've never seen our intro, outro, we're going to end it with that right now. And stay tuned because I do intend to make a revised version of this coming soon for the TNAM Daily Show because this says the Agree to Disagree show. But I digress. Regardless, signing out on behalf of everybody out there in the TNAM universe, especially including Kenneth and Danette for their kind donations today. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Deuces.
guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.